From the Kiss 92.5 studios in Toronto, Canada.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is Roz and Mocha.
it's Roz and Mocha. What's going on?
Hey guys, this is Bruno Mars.
This is Selena Gomez.
Chainsmokers.
Lady Gaga.
Calvin Harris.
Celestia Cara.
This is Ed Sheeran.
You're listening to my boys Roz and Mocha.
Roz and Mocha.
My boys Roz and Mocha.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Mocha. You guys are so funny, man.
Congratulations, Lisa! Wow!
You just won $1,000.
It's amazing. Y'all just made my entire morning. Keep it up.
You guys are awesome, man. This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
You know when you order from Uber or Skip, at the end, they always try and hustle you for more things. Like, I know you want this, but maybe you also want this.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I say no across the board.
All them add-ons.
All them add-ons.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
from not even places that you ordered the food from.
Mm-hmm.
So I ordered tacos the other night.
Okay.
Tacos.
Yes.
Okay. Then I get the message that pops up that's like, hey, maybe you would like some of these items to add to your order. Based on what's popular and available in your area, let us just provide you with the list of the things other people are getting along with their order. Okay,
Like churros?
so no. Again, I ordered tacos, okay? They sent me the screen. They said popular items, the most commonly ordered items and dishes from this store in your area, okay? That they would like me to maybe add on with my tacos.
Okay.
Number one on the list, Clear Blue pregnancy test. One packet, $18.99. Okay?
Yeah.
Number two on the list.
Man, they know you.
Number two on the list, Clear Blue pregnancy test. 2 packets, $25.99.
What the hell is going on?
The top two things on my list of suggestions of maybe you'd like to order this, a lot of people in your neighborhood do, are both pregnancy tests.
I wonder.
It's on Skip, I think.
I wonder if this is because I know Skip does this now. On top of food, like restaurants, they will also go to like Shoppers or wherever.
Yeah,
they get like non-food related items for you. So I wonder if.
But how many people are ordering pregnancy tests with their food for it to be the number one and number two suggestion?
Well, enough
that
for
shows
it to be
up.
number one and number two.
But who's doing that?
People in your neighborhood.
Who is ordering a pregnancy? So anyway,
Sorry, let me correct this. Horny people in your neighborhood.
I had no use for it, so I didn't actually order the Clear Blue pregnancy test, either the 1 packet or the 2 packet. That's expensive, by the way, $25.99. Maybe not when you think about it. So I guess that's the question. Has anybody, and you can text us or call us, whatever, have you ever said yes, or have you ever gone sort of out of your way to order something, either through laziness or just convenience, that you feel nobody else on earth has actually ordered? Damn it, Maury, what have you ordered that you maybe feel shame about spending the exorbitant amount of money that it costs to have something delivered to your house?
Well, let me go through my list. Starbucks from across the street.
Okay, if you left your place, how long would it take you to walk to that Starbucks?
Like 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
How long
Just
did it...
a reminder, too. Dammit Maury and his husband live in a condo, but they live on the 3rd floor of the condo.
Right.
So it's not like they're living up on, like, floor 25. They got to wait for the elevator.
Right, Maury.
Okay, 2 small bone broths.
Okay.
All dressed chips and brio.
You ordered a bag of all dressed chips on Uber. How much did that cost you for a bag of all dressed chips?
Oh, like $10.
Wait. Are we talking about, like, you ordered it from the store that is attached to your building? Or the one across the street from your building?
No, it came from somewhere else. I could have, but because Rabba isn't on Uber Eats, so I had to order it from somewhere else.
Yes,
but why not just go to Rabba?
Because I was watching a movie.
And your movie doesn't have the ability to pause?
I was into the movie. Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
1 small milk because I was making our coffee.
Okay, which probably cost you
goodness.
$15. Yeah.
Okay, and a stick of butter.
1 stick of butter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What a waste.
Jesus, man. Shem, you order a lot of food.
Yeah, but I go and get them because I'm really picky about making sure that I'm the one that touches my food first.
Have you ever has anybody ever asked or chosen one of those weird add-ons? Like you order tacos and then they say, hey, maybe you'd also like sandpaper?
I've never seen that. That's not on Uber Eats,
right?
Like Home Depot is just in the next plaza
yeah,
over.
like I don't get it. Like who's doing this? Who is ordering, pho, but also snowshoes, right? Like
Many people are.
Like do you order a lot, Deepa?
not a ton, but like the worst add-on I've ever gotten was like ordered burritos. It was half off. And then when I went to check out, they automatically added a $7 bag of chips to the order.
That's good. See.
Yeah, $7 for a bag of chips. And I still went ahead with it because I was lazy, but I was like, this is the worst add-on. $7.
Again, I want to know if anybody has added on anything that is just so far out there that had nothing to do with anything. Again, so I got...
That's probably the wildest one I've heard.
I ordered from Skip. We ordered tacos. And they recommended, hey, popular in your area. A lot of people are getting this. And number one on the list was a Clear Blue pregnancy test, 1 packet for $8.99. And then the Clear Blue pregnancy test, 2 packets was number 2 on the list for $25.99. $18.99 for 1 and $25.99 for 2. But has anybody said yes? What have you said yes to that is just so different from what you intentionally went on Skip or Uber for in the first place, but then they enticed you with it? Oh, by the way, number 4, number 5 on the list.
Yeah.
Toilet paper and Vicks Vapo Rub.
Tacos toxic, bro.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I ordered tacos on Skip the Dishes, and they asked me if I wanted to add on a pregnancy test to my order. So they sent me a note. You know when you order something and then you get that note at the end, hey, do you want to add on this? But the add-ons that they said, popular items in my area based on people who have ordered similar things. Again, I ordered tacos. And number 1 on their list of popular items was a Clear Blue pregnancy test, 1 packet for $18.99. Number 2 on the list was a Clear Blue pregnancy test, 2 packets for $25.99. The number 1 and number 2 items for add-ons based on my area on similar orders were pregnancy tests. So have you ever, what is the most wild thing you've ever said yes to that's popped up? Or maybe you think that you're the only one in the world who's ever ordered this, maybe out of laziness or convenience or embarrassment or whatever it is.
Go through these texts first before we get to the phones, okay?
Thanks.
Because you were mentioning the pregnancy test, right?
Yeah.
They came up with your tacos. This person said, pregnancy test makes sense. Picture this. It's 9 p.m. and you can't get tacos out of your mind. So you decide to order Taco Bell. But you also need it now. And because OS, I am pregnant.
Right. Maybe it's like, why am I craving this now? Right? Maybe that's what it is with the pregnancy tests. They know.
Someone said, I once bought a burger with a caulking gun. Somebody said, my friend orders condoms to her house all the time.
Come on.
Look at Deepa's face right now.
Well, why?
Why do you think, Deepa?
Why?
No, I mean, like, why do you have to do that online? Can't you go to like a Shoppers Drug Mart and just?
But what if you need them now? What if you need them now? Shem?
Isn't it faster still to go to the store?
I think it has to do with shame.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
You think in 2022 people don't want to pick up condoms in the store?
Listen, I'm not saying I got a problem with that.
Oh, here we go.
One final text. One time I ordered a plunger because I was too embarrassed to buy it in the store.
And you just let it, so it sat there for an hour and a half. Well, you waited for Uber to deliver a plunger.
Vanessa, go ahead.
So I actually Uber Eats myself a blanket because I was cold.
You what? Say again?
I ordered on Uber Eats a blanket.
A blanket?
So I was at an Airbnb and they didn't have any blankets other than like the comforter on the bed. And
where were you Airbnbing? Like, was it in a place where they like the area you weren't familiar with?
Not really. Like I've been in Toronto. Like I'm familiar with Toronto.
So you couldn't go to like the Bay or something and go buy a blanket?
Oh, she was cold now.
So I ordered it from Walmart because I didn't want to leave.
So you went on Uber Eats Walmart and ordered a blanket.
Absolutely, and it was probably about like $60.
$60, damn! What was the surcharge on that? Or that's like including the surcharge?
So the blanket itself was $30, and then the rest.
Oh my gosh! No, you double pay for that blanket.
Hey, yeah, I get that. Why go out? It's only colder outside.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
And from the time, Vanessa, the time that you ordered the blanket to when it arrived,
Uber Eats the blanket.
How long was that?
It was 2 hours.
2 hours? Oh my God! Yo, you could have drove to Walmart, bought that joint, and come right back
Doesn't
home.
matter. Or you can just sit, or you just sit in a warm bath and wait for the doorbell to ring. Right? That is
Damn.
crazy.
Thank you so much, Vanessa.
Bye, love.
Here, before we get to this next call, somebody said that they ordered Drano. But I low-key needed it. All right, it's Roz and Mocha. What's your name?
Melissa.
All right, Melissa, go ahead.
The worst add-ons I got was the number 1 was condoms, and number 2 was bananas.
Related.
Or for practice. Right? Or for practice. You don't know.
Oh, my God.
You don't
Thank
know.
you so much. Thank you for that.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I'm going through this article here. These Italian scientists
buongiorno.
Put together an AI machine, an artificial intelligence program, to determine what the factors were if your marriage was in fact doomed. And what I'm getting from all of this is, you know, the old adage, happy wife, happy life, right? You hear that all the time. Bumper stickers in movies, everything else.
Coffee mugs,
happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
What I get from this is that it's actually happy husband, happy life.
Yep.
Mamma mia.
So they collected data over 12 years on 2,000 couples. Out of those 2,000 couples, 914 broke up. So 45% broke up after the 12 years.
And this is from the Italian study?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but they collected like 20,000 pieces of data from these couples over the 12 years, and then they put it into their machine. They started doing algorithms, everything
From all their
else.
paisans?
From all their paisans. And what this comes down to is life satisfaction of both partners. So the key factors on whether a marriage is going to last or not is the women's percentage of housework, the life satisfaction of both partners, general marital status, the woman's working hours, the woman's level of openness, and the male's extroversion levels, meaning kind, wanting to do things, all of this stuff. There's a ton of variables that went along with this when it comes to the relationships. Now, if the man in the relationship is feeling good and is highly satisfied with his life, that increases the female partner's life satisfaction, and they fight harder for the relationship. If the man's satisfaction goes down, women tend to dip because, as we know, the divorce rate in America is at like 46%. 2/3 of divorces are initiated by women. So it's women who tend to dip out of relationships that they're not getting the satisfaction. And according to this study, it's when when their level of grumpiness and checky-outedness of a relationship, that's when women tend to bail.
Yeah.
Right? So
They're like, ciao.
So happy husband, happy life is what I think that this comes down to, which is
sitting there
very
nodding
weird.
his head yes to everything that you're saying.
I get it. When Matthew's happy, the world is a better place.
Is that what it is? Yeah. Deepa? You're newly married.
Yeah, you guys were all looking at me when you're like, women are the cause of divorce. They're the
No,
ones
I
that
didn't.
leave."
No. That is not what I said at
That's
all.
not what he said.
Nobody said women were the cause of
I mean,
divorce.
they're the
Girl, turn
ones
up
that
your
like
headphones.
initiate.
Women initiate divorce, but that's just factual, though, that women initiate 2/3 of divorces. But it's based on all of these variables, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess like if your husband's happy, it makes sense that your marriage is happy. I'm 6 months in. I don't have a lot of intel into the situation.
Nobody's Deepa. Nobody's looking at you like an expert. If we wanted a relationship expert, we'd go to Damn It Maury's.
16 years strong.
Okay, 16 years strong.
Is strong the right word to describe their relationship, though?
I would say that if we can make it through COVID and everything else, we are good.
How many days until your husband Matthew goes back to work full time? More?
April 4th.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Love is Blind, huh?
Sure is.
So that show on Netflix, which is a bonkers show. If you've never seen Love is Blind, give it a chance. It's where they take like 15 men, 15 women, and they don't see each other, but they go on these like sort of speed dates and fall in love where they're in one pod and she's in the other pod. And then between them is like a piece of frosted glass where they can hear each other, but they can't see each other. And the goal of the show is to fall in love without having seen someone and propose before you actually meet that person. And then they get out of the pods and they go on vacation and then maybe get married. And the villain this season was this guy named Shake, this veterinarian named Shake. And although the intent of the show was Love is Blind, he went in there trying to figure out what the women looked like, who was the hottest. And his line was always, so would you say, like, if we were at a music festival, do you think I'd be able to put you up on my shoulders if you couldn't see? Right? Which is just it's such a terrible line. And then he was saying that he got a bad edit, as all the villains of these shows do. But the rest of the cast was saying that no, he actually got a good edit because the other stuff he said would have destroyed his entire career.
Wow.
That he was that vile when he was talking to other people. But on the reunion show, Vanessa Lachey, who's one of the hosts of the show, went in on Shake. And here's a little bit of that.
I think you were on, if I may, the wrong show. And what I mean by that is there are shows where they're based on their looks and if they have a connection. But what I'm saying is you need to open your heart to a bigger picture. Because at the end of the day, what if she's dismangled in an accident? What if she gains weight? What if she loses her hair, her legs, and her arms? Are you not going to love her anymore?
Different.
I hope to God, if I'm dismangled, knock on wood, this man stands by my side, and I know he will, because he loves me for me. So the problem I have, Shake, is that you sat there and berated every single one of these women physically and then went through the process with this beautiful soul over here, all because you wanted someone that you wanted to not fall in love with.
I didn't even do that. I didn't even do that.
That's the point.
So if you think that's my goal,
You
very
just
wrong.
said that, babe.
No, I didn't. Why don't you twisted that around.
I did. I'm sorry. I'm heated. Let me change the subject.
No.
Ladies.
Whoa. Change
Oh, it's
the
still on you,
subject.
babe. It's still on you.
Wouldn't let up. Good for you, Vanessa Lachey.
And so the heat is really on Shake now. Deepa, when did Shake release the apology video?
He released it like 2 days ago, and this was directed towards the woman he was engaged to, Deepti, who
Yes.
was like an absolute fan favorite from this season. Like, she's my girl. So I saw the apology, and I was like, I don't really buy this.
Because
it doesn't seem very sincere.
Because the day after the reunion show, he was like, I don't care. I'm just being me.
Yeah.
I'm speaking my truth. And then he releases an apology video to Deepti, the woman that he did propose to. It all went to hell, but he did propose to her.
I wanted to take this opportunity to really just say sorry to a woman that I know I hurt. And Deepti, I am truly sorry for some of the things that I said, things that honestly just could have been left unsaid or could have been said differently, things that never should have been on national television. And during the time that we were filming, you were my best friend. And even though I knew our relationship wasn't going to end in marriage, I didn't want what we had to end either. I loved every second of it. And I'm so sorry that I hurt you with my words. That's the last thing I wanted from all this. I'm sorry, Deepti.
Yo, we literally just got a text right now.
Yeah.
925-555. In all caps, by the way, everyone.
Yeah.
I want to fight Shake so much. What a little bitch.
So, Deepa, you talked to Deepti yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did.
And so had she, like, how was she with you? Was she sort of still processing all this, do you think? Or is she sort of zen about the whole thing now?
I think she's handling this so well. Like, with all the drama, she's super calm about it. And the thing is, what I really like about her is she doesn't attack Shake, even though he was horrible. He's like, she's like my aunt. I feel like I'm with a family member. And she just handles the entire situation so well. But I think we were actually like one of the first places to talk to her after he issued the apology. So that was really cool.
So this is Deepa and Deepti talking about that apology.
Just recently, Shake, he posted this public apology. And I noticed in his caption, he said that, like, I actually reached out to Deepti privately. So did he actually reach out to you to apologize? What did that conversation look like if it actually did happen?
Yeah, I think he did that 5 minutes before he put that video out.
That's so bad.
And he literally just said the exact same thing he said in the video. But honestly, for me, it just felt so inauthentic and not genuine in any way. genuinely was sorry for what he did or how he treated me or how, how he, if he knew that it hurt me, right, he would have apologized when the first 4 episodes had dropped, and I honestly think that he just did that to save face because he's getting so much hate online and so many people are coming after him. So I really think that, that apology was just I think it's just a little too late and I didn't respond. But it just was so not authentic and not personal. And I'm just like, what is this? His whole social media is kind of like an oxymoron to me, because literally if you look at the video from the week prior, he's saying how he's not sorry. And that video is still up. So I'm like, which is it? And, I'm just not ready to ride this emotional roller coaster that he's on. I just need to be stable and protect my energy. And I just have no room for him anymore in my life.
That is Deepti from Love is Blind Season 2.
What a disaster.
Reacting to Shake. Another text real quick. Shake doesn't deserve Deepti.
Oh,
No, he doesn't.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is...
Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Ashley, hello. Welcome to Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
Hi, how are you guys? I'm excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you. Why are you joining us today? What's going on?
Yeah, so my brother and sister-in-law won't let me see my 4-month-old nephew.
Okay, so you wrote this, Roz and Mocha Fix My Life. My brother and sister-in-law had a baby in November. He was born a preemie, and they were super cautious with COVID and who saw him, etc., which is understandable. However, he's now 4 months old, and I have yet to see him or meet him. When I asked them if I could meet him, they said no, as I am in public service and am at risk. But then I saw on Facebook, you creeper, her sister holding him and her brother posting a story of meeting him as well. Then I found out that our mother was with him 2 days after returning from vacation in Mexico. I can't help but feel that this is a double standard and want some advice on how to navigate this.
Yo, how did your mom get to meet the baby before you?
It was actually her mom.
Oh, it was
her
mom.
Her mom came back from Mexico. That's okay, don't worry. So my mom has actually met him, sorry. But yeah, no, it was her mom that went to Mexico and then came back, and 2 days later was with him.
So it's a lot of the sister-in-law's family.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
my family's seen him too, but it's just my mom and dad.
Okay,
yeah,
but
it just
you
seems
haven't.
to be me.
All right.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I think in this situation, it's your brother and sister-in-law's decision, right?
I know.
And
yeah,
it hurts.
It's
It
hard.
really, it sucks and it hurts. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Also, it's sort of understandable that she would feel more comfortable with her own family,
Yeah, I guess I have a hard time with that.
Of course, because it seems like your brother doesn't have a say. And if she's allowing her siblings, why isn't your brother sort of pushing just as hard? Because, you maybe, are starting to think that you don't mean as much to him as that her siblings mean to her. And he should be fighting for you. If her brother and sister get to hold the kid, why can't his? And all of this stuff. And I get it. You feel left out, but you also feel sort of slighted by your brother when his wife is, it's not like they've made a rule that says nobody can come over. Obviously people can, but it's all her family and not really his family, your family.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know if you've suggested this at all, Ashley, but would it make them feel comfortable if you did like one of those rapid tests before seeing the baby, if they're just concerned with your line of work and going over there to meet the baby?
Yeah, so I have suggested that before. So with work, we do get rapid tests. So I've suggested that, I can take a rapid test, but she doesn't trust the rapid test. So that's part of the issue too.
But she trusts her. What do her brother and sister do?
So her sister's a stay-at-home mom, but her kids are in daycare, and then her brother, I think, works. I think he works in public service too. I don't actually know.
Listen, I agree that any parent can do whatever they want with their kid, but she's being irrational.
Yeah.
It's irrational. However, you can't say that to a mom with a 4-month-old.
No, for sure. But do you think I could say something to my brother?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And that's his.
But how do I frame it?
Frame it just like that. Just go, hey, listen, I rapid test every day. You can. Rapid tests are good enough for everybody else. I understand that you don't want to take any chances. If you were looking at me right now saying we are taking no chances, I would support you 100%.
For sure.
But her brother and sister have both met the kid.
Yeah.
And her mom, who just got back from Mexico, met the kid.
And so you're just now feeling like it's a little bit personal, and you you don't know sort of what to do in this situation. So you need his help.
Yeah, I just don't want to call him out. Like, I don't want to call him out and then him be mad. That's the only problem.
Well, why he's not going to be mad.
Yeah, the only way
true.
you're gonna make your feelings known is by having a conversation with your bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if it was an across the board thing, I'd be like, hey, listen, wait it out. But it's not.
Yeah.
It's not an across the board thing. It's a you thing.
No. Yeah.
It's specific, and you can't help but take that personally because it is personal.
Yeah.
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 But-
that makes sense.
But keep in mind, you have no right to this at all. I mean, you're
No,
just
not at
relying.
all.
You're just relying on family dynamics, which is all you really know. But I think that you can definitely have this conversation with your brother, and you should have this conversation with your brother.
Yeah, no, I can definitely do that and just express how I'm feeling and see what he says. I guess.
And realistically, maybe your brother's just tired of fighting with his wife.
I think that's a huge factor.
Right.
Just out of curiosity, before we let you go, Ashley, what do your parents think of all this? Like, if your parents have met the baby, like, have they said anything to your brother?
They haven't, but they've expressed to me like how unfair they feel it is. But they also don't think it's their place to tell my brother and sister-in-law like what to do. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I get it, but you can have this conversation with your brother.
Okay.
Because it
I'll
seems a little specific.
Yeah, sure. I'll give him a call and see what he says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure he's not at home when you talk to him. You want him to be able to be
Yeah.
honest.
I'll phone him at work.
Yeah, phone
Maybe
him at
that's
work.
not a good idea either, but at least he won't be there.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, guys.
Bye, love.
You're
the
welcome.
show.
Thank
Okay.
you. Love you right back. Take care.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
On Kiss.
You got to hear this woman. She posted a video because she pronounces cucumber wrong.
Cucumber.
Yeah, and I don't like it's, and I had to listen back to it like 5 or 6 times to realize what she was actually saying and why it was wrong. But her explanation seems solid, but she just went through life just saying the word wrong. And because remember that song that came out? Wasn't it a Jamaican guy or something like that? Kukumba?
Oh,
Yeah.
I have
Right?
that. I can play that for you in a second.
Okay. Because that was wrong, but in the best kind of way. Maybe it was right and we're all wrong. I don't even know. But okay, so listen to this woman, the way she says cucumber. And then
I
her
was 3
explanation
years
for it.
old when I found out I pronounced the word cucumber. And I think it makes more sense than the way you're supposed to pronounce it, which is cucumber. Because the word has CU and then CU, so surely both times you pronounce CU it should sound the same. With cucumber, the second C should actually be a K because it's a harder sound. Cucumber, you've got the same Q sound going on in the word.
Okay, you know what I mean?
Cucumber.
Cucumber. Cucumber. Cucumber.
You say the second Q the same way you say the first Q.
Cucumber.
Right? Hold on.
I was 3 years old when I found out I pronounced the word cucumber.
Cucumber.
But don't do it with the accent though, like because it's not about the accent.
Cucumber.
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 No. Cucumber. Cucumber.
Hold on.
I was 3 years old when I found out I pronounced the word cucumber.
Cucumber.
Cucumber. Say it like this. Q. Cucumber.
Burr. Cucumber. That's stupid.
Is it though?
Yeah.
I think that's wrong. I think Mocha was right. It's the same way again, like cucumber.
But have you never called a cucumber a cuke?
Never.
You've never?
No.
No? That's the
Who
only.
calls
That's the
one
only way.
that?
That's the only way. That's the only thing I ever refer to them as.
I've never heard that before.
My Nana says that.
Does she?
A cuke?
Yeah.
You gonna add some cukes to this salad?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like cuke in my salad.
That's a tasty cuke.
You never said that?
No.
You've never.
Cucumber.
You've
No.
never said cuke.
Never.
Really?
Only cucumber.
Oh, I rarely say cucumber.
That is one juicy cuke.
Yeah.
Doesn't that kind of like cute kind of sounds like pubes? Like
What?
that's what.
What? No, it doesn't.
Cuke sounds like pubes.
What?
I don't know why my mind
does
went
it?
there, but yes, it does sound like pubes.
Pubumber. Pubumber.
No.
Pubumber.
Hold on, let me find the song. that you
Pubumber.
were-
Yeah, so she says it cucumber, right? Cucumber. QQ. Like she
But
wants
you're
to say
talking about-
QQ. Cucumber.
The Jamaican guy
Yeah.
that says cucumber differently.
Yeah,
This is
cucumba.
from 2017,
Cucumba.
where this made it online, and then somebody remixed it, and it turned into like a real hype song.
Oh, Climax plays it.
Yeah.
Here, I'll play this for you real quick.
The cucumber, or as they call it in Jamaica, cucumba.
Yeah.
Cucumba.
Cucumba. Vitamins, minerals, very high number. Silica, hair and nails get longer. Other vitamins make your bones them stronger. Anti-wrinkle make you look younger. 95% water. Kidney cleanser, great hydrator. Detox fiber, good regulator. Give your body good things, don't be a traitor. Get the cucumber, cut it in a slice. Put it in a jug of water overnight. You know what you get for a fraction of the price? Energy drink full of electrolyte. Roaring salad is one of the use as a base for your vegetable juice. Another surprise, put a slice on your eyes, take away the dryness, revitalize. Oh yes. One thing I have left, cucumber can also help with bad breath. Wash away the bacteria that cause the odor. Cucumber water instead of soda. A Maccabean Medical Monday. Cucumber.
Wow. Like, so talented. Like, crazy talented, man.
And then somebody remixed it and put a beat behind it.
Welcome to Maccabees Medical Mondays. Welcome to Maccabees Medical Mondays. Welcome to Maccabees Medical Mondays. Today it's all about this, the cucumber, or as they call it in Jamaica, cucumber. Cucumber. Cucumber.
Yeah.
Cucumber. Vitamins, minerals, very high number. Silica, hair and nails get longer. Other vitamins make your bones them stronger. Anti-wrinkle make you look younger. 95% water. Kidney cleanser, great hydrator. Detox fiber, good regulator. Give your body good things, don't be a traitor. Get the cucumber, cut it in a slice. Put it in a jug of water overnight. You know what you get for a fraction of the price? Energy drink full of electrolytes. Roaring salad is one of the use as a base for your vegetable juice. Another surprise, put a slice on your eyes. Take away the dryness, revitalize. Oh yes. God. One thing I have left, cucumber can also help with bad breath. Wash away the bacteria that cause the odor. Cucumber water instead of soda. Cucumber.
And like,
cucumber.
I love that. I love that guy.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
I don't like cucumber, though.
No. Oh.
Even after the song?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Everybody all tired today because of the time change and stuff like that, or is everybody good?
I think I'm good now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More, you're not good. Thumbs down for you, buddy.
Oh my gosh, I have an internal clock, and I was lying in bed all even last night.
Digital or analog?
Analog.
Okay.
And I was lying in bed because my body's used to getting up at a certain time.
Yes.
So I got up early.
Right. And so what? You're messed up now?
I'm like jet lagged.
Yeah. That's what gets you. You'll be fine tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm okay now.
Yeah, I'm
not like any less tired than I
normally
am.
No, I'm always tired.
Yeah,
I'm just always tired.
You know, I never understood that. Like when you would say years ago, that at any point of the day you're always tired.
I'm always
right?
tired. Yeah.
So prior to having a child, I would be able to go home after work, walk the dog for like an hour, right?
Yeah.
And then lay on the couch for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And take a nice nap and then be good for the rest of the night.
Oh,
right?
Glorious
then
life.
Life happens and things change and naps disappear. And, even like just with the show, it just gets busier.
Yeah.
And at any point, and anytime Jenna asks me, like, because I always say that I'm tired. She's like, how tired are you now? And I'm like, I'm not any more tired, but I'm not any less. I'm just tired.
Yes.
Like at any point in the day, if you ask me how tired I am, I'm just going to say I'm tired.
And hungry.
I never willingly do anything. Every single thing I do in life, I have to force myself to do.
Oh, wow.
Like everything?
I'm not at that point yet. I'm not at that point yet.
Everything I do, I have to force myself to do.
Even smile?
No, just like with stuff.
Like he doesn't smile.
Even before I go and do anything, I will weigh whether I actually need to do that thing or not.
Really?
Yeah. I don't willingly do. I can't remember the last time I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to whatever, and then fill in the blank. Everything I do, I force myself to do.
Like the last time he said, I can't wait to do that thing. That's so sad, man.
Yeah, and maybe I have. Maybe I'm just
like,
in a rut right
like
now.
On Fridays, for example. Like, man, I can't wait to finish work. So, like, I can go home and sit on the couch and watch a movie.
Yeah, okay, but that to me that's doing nothing though. Like I've many times looked forward to doing nothing.
Yeah.
I've many times looked forward to or said I can't wait to do nothing. But
what about like if you have like a meal planned in your mind, right? And you're
Yeah.
like, I cannot wait to go home and start cooking this meal.
yeah, cooking is a different thing for me because cooking is sort of what makes all the tiredness, worth it, right? But like I've never like we went to see Batman on Friday, right? I forced myself to go and see Batman on Friday.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, like forced myself
So
to
it was
go
Catherine that had to say to you, like, let's go see Batman?
Of course. Of course.
Or else you never.
I just wouldn't have gone.
The suggestions never come from you.
No,
huh?
I just wouldn't.
For
I
anything?
just wouldn't have gone. It sounds exhausting to me. Going and sitting there in the dark for 3 hours.
Fall asleep?
Right?
Did you fall asleep?
It sounds exhausting. No, I didn't fall asleep.
Really?
No.
Not even for a minute.
Not even for a second.
You didn't feel like tired, like where your eyes are half.
Oh, it was such a fight. No, I brought a giant sandwich with me that I knew was going to take me at least an hour to eat.
Tuna?
Tuna?
In the theater?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, with Dijon mustard on it too, so it smelled real good.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Maury, fix your camera.
Oh, shoot. I didn't sign into
Jesus, man. What are you doing?
Microsoft Teams here.
What are you doing?
I just turn it on and it is where
Fix
it is.
it. Take a look at it, man.
If you don't know, Dan and Maury and
Like-
Shem are in a different room from where Roz and I are.
Just fix it all up, man. Like
Communicate through Teams.
Your lighting is so terrible. Your camera's all wonky.
Lighting's bad no matter where I go.
Nah, you need to fix your face, son.
You think so? Speaking of lighting, I'm watching this trailer for Tokyo Vice. Have you seen this? Okay, so Tokyo Vice, new HBO Max series. It looks so phenomenal.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So it's about it's a true story of an American writer who becomes like super immersed in the world of Japanese crime and the Yakuza, and he's like the first American writer to work for a Japanese paper, and then he makes friends with a Japanese cop, a detective, who sort of brings him into that world. Like the show looks phenomenal.
Is his name Max?
Anson Elgort is the guy who stars in it. And I'm watching the trailer and I can barely see what's going on. It's so dark. Everything that I watch
put your
now,
readers on?
it's not a sight thing. It's everything is so dark. I can barely watch anything. If it wasn't Batman the other day when I went and saw that, which is I watched 30% of that movie. It's so dark. I don't know what's going on in that movie.
You didn't see the Batman?
No, barely saw the Batman. I
you
could
see
barely
Riddler?
see the Batman.
Or
Barely
Catwoman?
saw the Riddler. This is everything is so bloody dark that I don't enjoy like television and movies anymore. Damn. And I don't know. It's not an old thing.
Can you raise the brightness?
Well, no. So I'm reading an article yesterday where they're talking about how everything is super dark and you know the way that movies and television shows like Euphoria they brought into this, because that's another show that I had to stop watching because it was too dark. And I don't mean in like content. I just mean the show's too dark to watch.
Well, because most stuff on that show happens at night.
And then so this article I'm reading from, they talked to all these cinematographers who work on these shows.
Yeah.
And their answer to all of it was, it's not too dark. It's intentional. And believe us, the stuff you see is the stuff we want you to see.
Okay, that makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Sure it does.
It doesn't make sense because I don't see anything.
It's purpose. It's like on purpose that everything is dark.
And then they go, the worst thing you can do, the cinematographer tells a story about going to his parents' house, and his parents have the contrast like bumped all the way up on their television because it's so bright. And he's like,
you don't want to
and
do
he's like,
that.
I was horrified. I had to go in and like turn it all down again. And I'm like, but you can't watch your show.
It's not the intent.
It's so bloody dark. Do you remember that game? You didn't watch Game of Thrones.
I did not.
Game of Thrones was the first one to really do this, where they had a full battle scene with like hundreds of actors, and you couldn't see what was going on. The screen was black the whole time, and then all of a sudden you would see like blood squirt by, somebody swing a sword.
Oh, I heard. Yeah,
You couldn't
and then
see anything.
people were complaining about that online, right?
Yeah, you couldn't see anything. Anyway, so I believe.
Yo,
that,
you know what's so weird is we're talking about like just like stuff on TV and
Yeah.
movies, whatever, being so dark.
Yeah.
And as you're telling the story,
Yeah.
like you're constantly rubbing your
I
eyes.
know.
'Cause even talking
I
about
know. My
how
eyes are
dark.
strained right now. I know, but watch the trailer, or maybe somebody else can watch the trailer for Tokyo Vice for me and tell me if it looks like a good show. Because from what I've seen, because it's so dark, it does look like a good show. It sounds like a good show.
Okay,
but no, it's so bloody dark. You saw Batman yesterday.
I did.
How was it? Too dark, right?
I fell asleep twice.
You fell asleep twice. Why? Because it's.
No, I was sleepy.
Oh.
You went right after work.
I know. Welcome to a 3-hour movie after
and had a
waking up.
drink before.
Did you? What did you have?
And a big plate of pasta.
No. What does the matter with you? What is the matter with you?
Shoot, 11, it was like 11:30 in the morning, and I'm downing a big plate of pasta that had like a veal and what was it? Veal and lamb ragu
covered in cheese.
What did you have with that? What did you drink?
Oh no, I wasn't.
You didn't? You didn't have a drink? No little glass of wine or anything like that? No. Okay.
But still, it was like the heavy pasta.
Okay, so you had a heavy pasta in the morning, in the AM, and then you thought going to see a 3-hour dark movie was gonna like be fine.
Yeah.
And
I had a bag of candy too.
Okay, how long before you fell asleep the first time?
Like 20 minutes?
20 minutes.
Yeah. And then at around like an hour or maybe 2 hours in, I fell asleep again.
When you woke up, did you know what was going on, or just
no
give
idea.
up?
I still
give up at that point.
I still don't.
So
I
how much?
have to watch it again.
So the movie's 3 hours. How much of it do you think that you missed from being asleep? Like, are we talking minutes or are we talking an hour?
No, maybe like 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so there's some plot holes.
Did you
there.
see the end, or did you sleep? Like, did you miss the end?
The very end?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I saw it right up until the credits.
Oh, well, like okay, sorry, excuse me. Okay.
I know how the movie ends.
Okay, yeah, okay. You slept for an hour during a 3-hour movie. I need to know if you watched the end. That's not a dumb question. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, you loved it though, right?
No, it was great.
Yeah.
From what I remember.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
But Thursday, St. Paddy's Day.
Yeah.
17 degrees is what they're calling for.
Are people going to go crazy on St. Patrick's Day, you think, this year? They are? Man, I was hoping to go for dinner with my mother on Thursday.
So why can't you?
Because I'm never going to get a table anywhere.
Is she Irish?
No. I didn't know it was St. Patrick's Day.
No, but she likes eating dinner.
Yeah, like I can't take my mother for dinner, right?
Is it just the two of y'all?
No.
Oh, okay.
We're going to go out.
We'll just go to a non-Irish place.
I can get you a table at my favorite Jewish restaurant.
Which is what?
Oh, United Bakers. They have an amazing...
what is that, a deli?
Yeah, but they have noodles and cottage cheese.
I'm not going to take my mother for noodles and cottage cheese at a deli.
We're going to go get sandwiches.
Maybe she likes a good smoked meat.
Jeez.
Yeah, just take her to a non-Irish place.
Yeah.
Restaurant.
This is a guy who's never been for dinner with his mother.
You know what's funny? You said that. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's me.
Boom, roasted.
Thank you. Doesn't know how to do it. I apologize, Maury. That was really low.
No, it was really funny.
I know. But when I say things, I will listen. If there's anything about me, you know, okay? I will say terrible things, but I will immediately apologize afterwards. Immediately. Like, I won't wait till later on. Hey, man, that thing. Like, I will immediately apologize. So, yeah, I want to take my mother for dinner on Thursday, but it's going to be a mess out there.
I guess it depends on which neighborhood you go to.
Because this is like the first real thing since COVID, right? Like in 2 years is St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
It's like the first.
Because now all the big the big celebrations that we normally take part in as groups, we're allowed to do again, right?
And the parade is back again.
So
are they doing a parade?
They're doing the parade and everything.
No, they're not.
Even in Dublin.
Jeez, man.
Everyone's going to be going, like, listen, you got 2 years of pent up St. Patrick's Day to celebrate.
I know.
People are going to go all out on Thursday.
Your mother will still be hungry on Friday. Just
no,
move
I
to
can't
Friday.
do it. No, Thursday's my only day. I'm just.
But your mother?
so busy?
Yeah.
Make time for your mom.
Don't worry about my schedule and what I do with my time.
You're not that busy.
Yes, I am. Thursday's my only day.
You're busy Saturday.
I'm busy Saturday. Yeah. Okay? Don't look at me like I got nothing going on. I got stuff going on, man.
Bro, you never talk about the stuff going on.
Well, that's because I got secrets. Right? You know, I'm not like, I know Maury has nothing going on because I just look at it. I don't even look at his Twitter. I just go to my inbox because Maury sends me everything that he's doing. So I know Maury has nothing going on.
Boom, roasted.
Thank you.
I mean,
if I'm ever like, hey, what's Mocha up to? I go to your Instagram. I'm like, oh, shoveling the driveway.
Yeah.
Okay. I know you got nothing going on.
Boom, roasted.
But I'm a busy man.
Sure you are.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. My name is Mocha McFrap.
Oh, look at you.
Big up to all my Irish peoples out there.
Yeah,
We're about to do it up big. We're doing it up big. We have 2 years of celebration inside of us waiting to be released.
Yeah, there hasn't been one of these in a while, huh?
No. Everywhere is celebrating.
And what a first event to do.
I know.
After everything, after 2 years of doing nothing, St. Patrick's Day.
And especially on a day like today where we're getting up to like 16, 17 degrees.
I know.
Are you kidding me? The streets are going to be nuts today.
When's the last time you did like a big St. Patrick's Day piss up?
I don't know, like,
trying
I
to
don't know
think
how
about
many
this
years
last
ago,
night.
but Jenna and I went to a place,
Yeah.
like a Irish, like, known place.
Yeah.
And I think we left. I know it was still daytime.
Yeah.
And it was still afternoon. It wasn't like early evening.
Yeah.
It was mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
And I was wasted.
Yeah. Just on beer? Oh,
Yeah.
were you doing whiskey too?
No. Just straight up beer.
Just beer.
And then whatever you call the one where you toss the shot inside the beer.
Irish car bomb?
Yeah. I did a couple of those.
Yeah.
And like 30 seconds after getting into a cab, I had to tell the cab to stop. And I got out, and it was on a main street. And I threw up in the doorway on the outside of a jewelry shop.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
And then I got back in the cab.
So when was that? That couldn't have been that long ago. Like we were doing the show, right?
Oh, we were. Yeah.
Jesus, I've not been that drunk since we started doing this show.
Oh, really?
No.
Really?
Oh, no,
Oh,
not even close.
Multiple times, bro.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Have I come close to throwing up
Multiple times.
doing this show?
Uh-huh.
No.
I mean, I'm not saying that, like, I feel like I'm going to go do that today
No,
because of
you
2 years of celebration that's been inside.
Yeah, you could not.
Right?
I couldn't. There's no way I could. I used to go to a place called McVeigh's on Jarvis.
Mm-hmm.
That place had carpet. Bro, it was like
Yeah, that's got to be an old spot. Come on now. They still got carpet?
Bro, that place was old school. Like old school. Yeah, that joint was
Could you
a lot
imagine,
of, that
can you
joint
imagine
was
what
a
that
lot of
carpet
fun.
smells like?
Oh, come on now.
I imagine it's not open anymore. Or
I think it is.
Or if it is, they must have got rid of that carpet.
Yeah. But this was in the, oh my God, probably the 90s when I went there. Damn it, Maury.
Yes.
Fix your camera, man. Okay, there we go. I want to see that face of yours, that beautiful face.
Oh, that is a lie.
Facts.
When's the last time you did, have you ever done
like a super
St.
drunk
Patrick's
thing?
Day? Like a super drunk St.
I
Patrick's
usually go to
Day?
St. Patrick's Day to pubs to talk to people for our show.
Right, but you
not
don't,
like with-
you don't partake, though.
With friends or like
No.
just to
You
hang
can't
out.
drink when holding a mic.
Yeah.
I mean, you can.
Says like every rock star that has ever walked on stage.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Right? See?
You're just not doing it right.
oh my God. You can't.
But I've been drunk, but not on St. Patrick's Day.
Right. No, but have you been thrown up drunk, though, since we've been doing this show?
No. The last time I got throw up drunk was like 1999.
What?
Yeah.
Come on, dog.
Where I then went to work and they had to call my dad to come pick me up.
You went to a job like that paid you a full-time salary and you had benefits and you were so drunk your job had to call your dad? Oh my God.
I fell through the glass coffee table in the lobby. They called my dad saying, "Can you please come get him?" And the punishment was I had to carry bricks up the hill to my dad's backyard.
What was the drink or drinks that made you
Back then,
throw up?
brown
Or
cows.
What's a brown cow again?
Kahlua and milk.
That's so gross.
That's thick.
I got drunk on milk.
Ew.
And that's what you threw up? Oh my
That
God.
is so gross.
I
dude.
could not imagine work having to call my mom.
Yeah.
Like
Come
that
pick-
is
come
like
pick up your son.
that is. Has that ever happened to anybody?
No.
Have you ever known anybody that got in trouble at work and
Never.
work called their parents?
Never.
My dad
Come
was
pick up
so
your kid.
embarrassed for me. I didn't get fired.
But you weren't embarrassed?
I was too drunk.
No, but even afterwards, like just to go back into work like the very next day.
No, you hold your head up high.
And did nobody at work, like nobody volunteered to like take you home or make sure you were safe?
No, the guy was on air.
They went straight to calling your dad?
Yeah, the guy.
How did they know your dad's number?
They got it from my phone because there's no security back then.
Oh my God.
Was your dad like your emergency contact?
Your poor father. Gee, I've never heard of that before. Somebody getting in trouble at work and work calls your parents. Like that's like who does that happen to?
Man, that was
nobody.
That was like the biggest L you could have.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody! Big celebrations happening. We're watching all the footage out in Ireland right now. Streets are busy.
Yes.
And people have 2 years of pent-up celebrations that they need to release today because obviously the pandemic had halted all St. Paddy's Day celebrations last year. Streets in Ireland were empty. Today, full. People drunk already. Dan and Maury made some calls to some cold calls to folks in Ireland to find out how they're celebrating and also tell them some jokes.
Did you do it in an Irish accent, Maura?
Oh, I don't want to spoil anything.
Oh, okay.
You could have just said yes because I just gave it away.
Presumably, if it was no, you would have said
How's it going?
Oh, top of the morning to you. All right, so how are you celebrating St. Patrick's Day?
Well, I will be going and calling into some lovely pubs in Dublin city centre and around the country and having a few Irish whiskies to celebrate and a few beers with a few of my friends.
Okay, let's say that we're cheersing for a beverage. Give me a traditional Irish cheer.
May the roof above you never fall in and those gathered beneath never fall out. And may your bank account always be bigger than your eyes for a pint.
Dippity doo! Happy St. Patrick's Day to you!
I love it. It sounds exactly what leprechauns are like.
Of course it is. Let me hear your best leprechaun.
Our 33 and a third.
What do ghosts drink on St. Patrick's Day?
Tell me, what do they drink on St. Patrick's Day?
Ooh, booze.
Hello?
Dippity doo, it's Dammit McMurray, how are you?
Oh my God, that is the worst Irish accent I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, well, happy St. Paddy's Day!
Happy St. Patrick's Day from Dublin.
Are you Dublin over?
I'm Dublin drunk. I'm about 3 pints of Guinness in, so I'm nearly there.
How are you celebrating today?
Drinking pints of Guinness. Just getting out and about in Dublin because when it was cancelled the parade 2 years ago, remember COVID hit in March, so we haven't had a parade in 2 years and it literally happened just before. So today we are all going absolutely wild, making the most of it.
Can I hear your best leprechaun voice for me?
No, us Irish don't do that leprechaun voice rubbish. Yours is terrible. I think you're doing enough for us.
Dippity doo. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you. It's Dammit McMurray again. Hello.
Hi. What's the crack, Marty?
For all of Canada, can you help us get in the St. Patrick's Day spirit with a Irish song?
Oh, Danny boy,
Hey.
oh, God, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and o'er the rushy plain. Maury, come on, you got to help us out here.
Oh, no.
Oh, Danny boy.
Oh, no.
The pipes are calling from glen to glen down the sea plain.
Oh, that was such a treat. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Paddy's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Wow. The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Dan and Maury had a chance to speak to Phil Keoghan, who is the host of The Amazing Race and also Tough as Nails.
This is where they get like regular people to do really tough things, right? Isn't that the deal with this show?
Yeah, this is the description for the current season 4.
Yeah, I watched an episode of this last year.
Competitors are tested for their strength, endurance, agility, and mental toughness in challenges that take place at real-world job sites, including Camp Pendleton Marine Corps Base, the U.S. Coast Guard in San Pedro, and a motorsports facility. One by one, the contestants, who include a crop duster, an iron worker, a construction foreman, a carpenter, and a diesel mechanic, are eliminated until a winner is named. The series proves that toughness comes in all shapes and sizes, and it celebrates Americans who don't think twice about working long, hard hours and getting their hands dirty to keep their country running.
Right.
Here's the thing, though.
God, it's a tough show. I couldn't do any of that stuff.
We got some tough Canadians out there.
Yeah.
And Tough as Nails are opening up the casting to Canadians if you want to take part in season 5.
Remember when Survivor did that?
Yeah.
Canadian won.
Tough as Nails, cbscasting.com if you want to apply for season 5.
Sure.
This is Damn It Maury with host of the show, Phil Keoghan.
So you finally realized that you need Canadians on your little show, and it took this long.
Oh, no.
On the little show. Wow, way to get that in there. I thought it was a big show. All right, yes, no, of course. I love Canadians. We wanted Canadians. We've had Canadians apply since season 1. We just, for one reason or another, they weren't allowed in the beginning. Canadians are now allowed. So, yes, very excited about it.
Yo, man, the guy gives us time on the show, and you automatically, right? I start killing him right away.
I'm sort of with Maury on this because it's a little bit of a pisser offer when, you know, for so long these shows they ban Canadians like we're, you know, virus carriers or something like this. You know what I mean? Like the rules are so stupid. So I'm sort of with Maury on this one.
Now, okay, so are Canadians tougher than Americans? Should the Americans be scared?
Well, you're asking a question that's yet to be answered. So once Canadians apply and once they compete against Americans on Tough as Nails, we will find out who is the toughest of them all. I think it's going to be close. I know Canadians and I know some tough Americans, and we've already had some very tough Americans compete on the show. I think it's going to be very competitive. I love the rivalry between Canada and the U.S. I come from New Zealand, and we have a similar sort of rivalry with Australia. So, you know, I think it's going to be heated, and I think it's going to be exciting to watch.
Yeah, I think something like this, when you take Canadians and mix them in with a bunch of American toughies.
As a nation and as a show, I think that we should have sent a better representative to demonstrate how tough Canadians are than Damn It Maury.
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean?
I am so glad you said that.
You know what I mean? Like Maury's the one right now talking smack about how tough Canadians are. I'm like, we could have done better than that. No offense, Maury.
I'm so happy you said that because listen to this. This is Damn It Maury talking to Phil Keoghan, the host of Tough as Nails, where Canadians are now allowed to apply. I'm so glad you said that, Roz.
I've got to argue the show's title with you. It's called Tough as Nails, but are nails really that tough? Because whenever I hit a nail in the wall, it tends to bend left or right. So I don't know if nails are as tough as you think.
Wow, Maury, you really had to go there. Okay, so are you? Wow, Maury. Look, if you were Tough as Nails, you wouldn't use a hammer. You just use your hand and then try driving that nail in, and then see whether you think a nail is tough.
Sure, I guess, or maybe I'm just using the wrong nail. I just think there are.
Try your head. It might, you know, just rearrange things in there, and you would never ask a question like that ever again, Maury.
I just think there's things that are tougher than nails.
Okay, name them.
Like tough as steel.
Okay, what is a nail made out of?
Touche.
Wow.
I've got to say.
That just rolls off the tongue. Welcome to Tough as Steel.
Wow.
Thank you, Maury, for that. Yeah. I'll try the marketing campaign on that one.
So this is representing us to entice, to show Phil Keoghan, the host of Tough as Nails, what Canadians are made of and why we deserve to be on the show.
Right. Tough as mother's guilt, huh, Maury? You know what I mean? Right? Like, let's call it something that's actually tough.
If Canadians who are listening to this right now want to sign up for Tough as Nails, give them the sales pitch. Why should we apply?
It's extremely important that a Canadian kicks the ass of an American on a network primetime reality competition show, number one. But more than that, it's important that Canadians who are working way up in Saskatchewan, way up in Churchill, in the remote regions of Canada, show the rest of this country and the rest of North America and the world, because this show is broadcast all over the world, just how tough Canadians are. Real people in real life who are real tough. It's important that Canada represents.
Okay, now are you going to eliminate me from this interview?
I'm very sorry to tell you, you have been eliminated from the race. I could have eliminated you so long ago for some of the indignant questions. I'm going to talk. Where are my people? I'm going to talk to somebody about you. You're uncontrollable. How have you stayed on the air all these years?
I don't know, people love it.
Yeah, I can see why. You make people laugh. It's good.
Oh my God, that is amazing. Thank you to Phil Keoghan for giving us time on the show. Listen, Tough as Nails season 5.
Yeah.
Canadians are
Do
being
it.
cast right now. Tough as Nails, cbscasting.com.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I have a Florida man story for you.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Florida, just dropping gems every day. A Florida man was arrested after phoning the police to have some local meth tested for authenticity after he purchased it from a local bar. He called 911 because he was worried he had purchased bath salts and told officers he was, quote, an experienced drug user who knew what it should feel like to smoke meth. So then the cop showed up. And the guy proceeded to say, like, I want this meth tested so that others wouldn't buy fake meth from the individual who sold it to him in the first place.
You can say drug dealer. You don't have to be polite about it.
So he was just looking out for others.
And the police quoted, because the police that put this story on their Facebook page, as they always do, right? Yeah. A direct quote from the guy is that the reason why, in addition to, is, quote, put the person in trouble, end quote.
Put the person in trouble. That sounds like somebody's, what is he, smoking meth?
And then the cops were like, well, who is this person? And the guy obviously was like, well, I can't remember.
Yeah, man.
Right? I don't know his name. I don't have his contact info. So then the cops tested in front of him, tested the drugs.
Yeah.
And it was meth.
It was meth. The whole time.
It was 100% pure meth.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah. And then, of course, he was like charged for possession.
Oh, yeah, there's that too.
Arrested.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
But what about the guy that sold it to him?
Well, nothing. Listen, he sold a legit product. What are you going to do? Right? Yeah? No word on that, gentleman, Mocha? No?
No, not.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Roz, Kim wants to give you some props.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Kim.
Kim said here in this text, my husband made Roz's chicken wings last night. They were excellent. Not going back to any other method.
Oh, yeah?
This was your baking it in a oven technique where you crank the heat all the way up to, I think it was 400, right?
450.
450.
I do it 450, but you have to have them on a wire rack, though, right?
Yeah, he did. He totally. So what he did was, he listens to the show all the time. He listens to the podcast all the time. So I think he kind of had this in the back of his mind that he was going to do this one day. So he went back, he went to the podcast, and he looked for the podcast that talked about the chicken wings.
Right.
And then he referenced the recipe again, and then, he followed it. So he had the wire rack, he had everything. And, he did it. He did it just like you said.
Like
and
drench him in vegetable oil and then more salt than you think you need, pepper at the end, all that stuff. Yeah. And they were good, right? Like those bones just like come sliding right out, right?
Yeah, they were awesome.
Yeah. The best.
We had a whole bunch of sauces, so we sauced up a couple one way and then a different way.
Yeah.
And this was your husband's first time trying out the recipe, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, he didn't, fill up the kitchen with smoke or anything like that. No alarms were going off. He just followed the recipe exactly, and it worked out?
I will tell you that the smoke alarm did go off a couple times.
Yeah.
Our smoke alarm is, super-de-duper sensitive. So, it did go off a couple times, and we did have to open up the back door to let some fresh air in.
Okay, hold on. I have one more question for you.
Okay.
So he had the wings on a wire rack.
Yeah.
The wire rack was in what or on what?
It was on like a deep cookie sheet,
Okay. What was between the wire rack and the bottom of the cookie sheet?
parchment paper.
Okay. Yeah, you would have had a whole lot more smoke if you weren't using parchment paper. Trust me on that one.
So a lot of smoke. So you open up the back door to let
not
some.
a lot of smoke.
No,
Not a lot
sorry.
of
The
smoke.
fire alarm was going off. That's what it was, right?
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It wasn't super smoky. Like we didn't get smoked out or anything,
Okay.
but the alarm went off.
Yeah. So again, the best chicken wings I've ever made, and I'm a huge fan of deep fry. Like I own a deep fryer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like I do.
Understood.
I own a deep fryer. When I make chicken wings, I get them and I stick them in a bowl, cover them in vegetable oil, super simple. Take them out, lie them on a metal rack that goes on top of a cookie sheet, but in between you have to have a layer of parchment paper so the stuff doesn't burn and smoke your house out. Cover them on one side with salt, a little bit of pepper, and then throw them into an oven at like 450, right? I'm
crazy.
telling you,
That's
450, and then just monitor them. And I leave them in for quite a while and then
Yeah.
flip them, salt that side, pepper that side with a little bit of pepper on that side, stick them back in, let them do their thing. And what you want to do is you want to take a fork. You know it's done when you reach into the oven and you take a fork. And you scrape the fork across the skin of the chicken wing, and you want to hear a scratchy sound, right?
yeah.
You don't want it to pull and move. You want to hear a scratchy sound, and also
Nobody likes a
and
slimy wing.
exactly, and also like anything, right? The rule with cooking, really anything, whether it's in the oven or in a pan, is don't ever let your meat touch. Right?
No.
When your meat touches, it creates steam. Okay?
Sure does.
So don't let your meat touch. You want all those little things to be separated with a tiny little gap in between them if you want to get the perfect roast, okay?
Yo, Kim's dying
And then when you pull it out, those bones are going to slide right out of them. Like you could push it at the bottom and literally that one little bone, it'll just pop right at the top.
I don't know nothing about little bones, bro.
Shut up.
Yeah, Kim. Thank you so much for reaching
He
out.
followed it. He followed it perfectly.
Good
and
for you.
listen, when I come home, my husband works during the day, and when he comes home and he says, "I'm making dinner," I'm like, "Okay."
And there you go. Best chicken wings ever.
It was awesome. It was totally awesome.
That warms my heart. Thank you, love.
Coining that recipe, and we're going to follow it from now on.
Good job.
Oh, that's
Thank you.
awesome. Thank you so much, Kim. You have a wonderful day.
Talk to you later. Bye.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
Update.
Jane, what's going on? It's Roz and Mocha. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good.
So, Jane, we talked to you in
2020.
And you wrote us then. You said, I found the engagement ring. 6 months ago, he still hasn't proposed. How do I prompt him to ask the question already? And before we find out what went down, let's just sort of recap a little bit of your feelings at the time and the conversation. So tell us just quickly, at that time, a little bit about your relationship, where the ring was hiding, where you found it, all that stuff.
Okay, so we had already been dating for 5-ish years, and we already lived together, and I was doing some cleaning. I was washing all the winter gear, and I found the ring box and basically a envelope that described the ring hidden in the gear. And so I was like, and I'm going to put this away. And I was just kind of, when was this, purchased? And because it had a receipt. And it was the 6 months previous.
Oh, so he had the engagement ring for 6 months and hadn't yet proposed, right?
That's right.
And you were wondering at the time, because we were like, man, this sucks. Like, as much as you may be in love, it sucks because every time you guys do anything, you're going to be wondering if that's the day that he's going to propose. And it just sort of takes your head out of the moment. And my suggestion was the way to still make it special and not let him know that you found the ring was that you should just propose to him.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I was very much against that.
Right.
Because we didn't know if Jane's boyfriend had like a big grand plan
Exactly.
already in his mind and had things set up, and we don't want to kind of blow that surprise.
Mocha is definitely the sort of grand proposal master plan type person. I am not. I am about efficiencies and taking care of business. So what did you wind up doing?
So he ended up proposing to me.
Oh, he did.
Amazing.
So he did, yeah.
How long after we all talked? Because we talked in July of 2020.
He proposed just January 4th.
Of this year?
Oh my God. What?
Yeah.
Hold on. So you held on to that secret? Did you tell him when he proposed that you had already knew the ring existed?
I told him like shortly after that I had found it. But he started laughing.
So how did he propose?
At Christmas, my parents had given us gift cards for the keg,
Yeah.
and we made a reservation. Just after we made the reservation, they had announced closing down all the restaurants again.
Right.
Oh no.
And he was like, "Oh my God, this is like my last shot," because it was the day before all the restaurants shut down again.
Right, right.
And so we had a beautiful dinner. And then we were like, let's go for a walk, go to Starbucks, have a coffee. And as we were walking, we went to the shops at Don Mills.
Sure.
So they have these outdoor fireplaces
Yeah.
with like seats around it.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. And so we were standing there. He was drinking his coffee. And I'm just standing there shivering. And I'm just like, are you ready to go home yet? You ready to go home yet? And he's like, just give me a minute.
Oh no, poor guy.
And then like, and so he's like, just like, sipping his coffee. You can tell he's like trying to say something to me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, can we go home now? Because this is cold.
Right.
And then he gets down on his knees and he pulls out this case with like a silver bell.
Okay.
I'm like, what the is this?
Yeah.
And then he got up.
Yeah.
But because I was like, what are you doing? Get up, get up, get up. People are going to start looking.
So after all this time, you're wondering, what's his plan? Like, what does this guy have planned after all this time hanging onto this ring? Like, are we talking like marching bands and elephants and hot air balloons? So after all this time, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this, but after all this time, the plan was the keg and Starbucks and the shops at Don Mills?
He had no idea what he was going to do.
I love this guy. I love this guy. So it was all just nerves, right?
I think it was mostly nerves.
Yeah, I love this guy.
When
I
you
love
mentioned,
him.
Jane, that you guys went to the keg, honestly, I thought that you were going to say that he hid the ring inside of a Billy Miner pie.
Oh, no.
All right. So everything worked out. You guys are engaged. Have you set a date yet for the wedding?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we'll talk to you in 2024.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
No, he keeps changing his mind on what he wants.
What do you mean on what he wants?
Because I said, like, do you want to do a destination? Do you want to do, like a ceremony? Do you want to just do a banquet hall where you just bring in the officiant?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're both not religious.
Right.
So I don't want to do it in a church.
Okay, can I...
So...
you got a wild one there. So what I would suggest, if we can turn this into another, an FML, a Jane FML part 2, here's my advice to you. Plan the whole damn thing and just tell him when to show up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't even involve him.
Done and done.
Okay, well, I just wanted to give you an update.
He will appreciate that. Trust me.
Amazing.
Right?
There you go, Jane.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for checking back in with us. Glad that everything worked out.
Okay, thank you. You as well.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life
on Kiss.
Hello. It's Roz and Mocha. Who's this?
Hello. How are you?
Oh, Fabian. What the hell, man?
Yo. You good, guys?
Yeah, buddy.
Fabian, one of our most dedicated listeners of the Roz and Mocha Show.
Yes, sir.
We normally hear from you like at least once a week or like once every other week. We haven't heard from you in months, dude.
I know, man. I know. I got hit with COVID, guys.
Oh, no, buddy.
Yeah. How was it?
Honestly, man, it wasn't bad, man. I just wanted to work.
Yeah.
My body was sore from just lying down all day.
Are you vaxxed? Are you vaxxed or not?
No.
You're not.
No.
Okay, so what did you feel? Because I know people who are vaxxed who have got COVID, and they just said like it felt like just a common cold. They were
Common
down
cold.
and out for like two days or so.
Absolutely, that's all it was.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, down and all. I got it from my daughter, but whatever. It is what it is.
And did your wife
Yeah,
get it
man.
too?
We all got it. It was in stages. It was my wife and daughter, then me.
Oh, okay.
Was there a moment when you got it that you were sort of maybe second guessing yourself that you didn't get vaxxed or no?
No.
No, eh?
Not at all.
Is your wife vaxxed or she's not as well?
None of us are.
Oh,
None
okay.
of us are.
So what's life been like for you guys? Like, what can you do and what can't you do?
Nothing. Save money. Grow weed and save money, guys.
That's it, huh?
That's it.
Hey, during
the-
those days when you were knocked out with COVID, were you still smoking or no?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, you were, huh?
Come on, man.
Yeah. Jeez.
And that's what kept me going, I think, man.
Yeah, Fabian grows weed, right? I think we mentioned that you're the guy that came up with the Razamoka strain of weed.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, since I haven't been at home, I missed a couple of things. That's why I've been calling because I finally got the slow-mo treatment, I heard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody slowed down a segment of our conversation with you talking about your weed.
Yeah, we finally got high together.
Yeah.
Hey, how is the Razamoka weed anyway?
I'm growing a whole bunch this after this harvest. I'm gonna pop like about 20 seeds.
When you say harvest, how much weed are we talking about?
I got about 18 plants now.
Jeez, man.
Whoa. Yo, this isn't going to get us in trouble, right? Like
For what?
No, man, I'm legally prescribed. I'm allowed to grow 100.
Okay. No, but like, Razamoka weed hits the streets and all of a sudden, like, tied to us, obviously. Like, we're not going to...
yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, but you know me, I ain't selling nothing, man. Anybody wants it, I'll just give it to them if they want.
Also, when's the last time you heard a story about like sketchy weed hitting the streets?
I don't know.
I don't know if I've ever heard a story.
Laced with something.
Nah, about sketchy weed hitting the streets.
No, you know why? I don't know. I heard this because spring break happening right now, right?
Yeah.
And I heard about this guy in Florida who got busted by the cops because he was selling like spring breakers. He was selling them like cocaine that was laced with, I think, fentanyl or something like that.
Yeah, that's a whole different world, though.
I mean, I don't know drugs, right? I don't know if you can lace weed with something that like.
Geez, I mean, you can.
Why would you?
Yeah,
Why would you?
Yeah, like
know?
I don't think the motivation behind somebody selling weed is to kill someone.
Like, I don't know, Fabian, you watched that movie back in the day, Friday, with Ice Cube and Chris Tucker?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you remember when he was smoking weed and, like, the weed that he
Laced
got?
with angel dust.
Yeah, laced with angel dust, and then he ended up with a chicken coop?
Yeah.
Or the pigeon coop?
Yeah, I mean, I like...
I don't want that to happen to someone and be like, what were you smoking?
man.
And that person was like, Razamoka weed.
No.
That won't happen coming from me.
Yeah, no, if you smoke the Razamoka weed and wind up in the pigeon coop, it's going to be because the weed was good, not because it was bad.
Amen, Rod. Amen, Rod.
Fabian,
Preach, brother.
we love hearing from you. We're
you know that.
really, really happy that you're doing okay and that your family's A-okay now.
Thanks, man. I love you guys.
All right, love you right back. Take care.
Have a good yeah.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hitting Disney Plus tomorrow is the new Cheaper by the Dozen movie with Zach Braff.
I loved the first Cheaper by the Dozen. And
Back
also the
in-
sequel. The sequel was good too.
The original, starring Steve Martin and Bonnie Hunt and Hilary Duff.
Ashton Kutcher.
Yep. Tom Welling. Piper Perabo was also in the original.
Yes, that's right. Tom Welling was the older brother.
Yeah.
That's right.
So they've
Piper
remade
Perabo's
it.
so good.
Yeah. And they've remade it with Zach Braff and Gabrielle Union.
That's awesome.
The description reads, a blended family of 12, the Bakers, navigate a hectic home life while simultaneously managing their family business.
Yeah.
So Dammit Mori got a chance to catch up with Zach Braff, who is just amazing. Like one of the nicest guys you will ever meet. I haven't heard a single person say anything terrible about Zach Braff. Even the time, I don't know if you remember when he came in here to hang out with us one day, he was just like, just such a pleasure.
Zach Braff was the first star to use Kickstarter.
Oh, was he really? I didn't know
to
that.
raise money for a project.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. I think we
Yeah,
talked
I don't
to
know
him
if
for
he
that.
ever. I don't know if he ever made it.
I'm pretty sure we talked to him
That's
about
why
that.
he was on the show.
No, he was also, it was because we've had him on the show a couple of times.
Yeah,
I
no, I
remember-
know. Yeah, I don't know if he ever made the project though, because I think he wanted to do a sequel to Garden State, didn't he? Isn't that what he was trying to do? Yeah, I think maybe.
So this is David Morey talking to Zach Braff. Again, Cheaper by the Dozen is out on Disney Plus tomorrow.
Zach Braff, how are you?
I'm so good. I'm happy to be with you. My publicist just reminded me that you usually have the camera on your head.
Yeah, but that would be weird sitting in front of a computer doing that. I heard that you, like the kids were all there and then everybody left and you were like basically in charge of these 10 kids, like in real life.
Well, that's what happens. Gabby and I, they have these babysitters and parents and everything, but then to shoot, they all leave. So then Gabby and I really did have to be parents. Because the little ones, obviously the teenagers are fine, but the little ones are like off beating each other up and wrestling, and you'd be like, hey, stop hitting him. Hey, come here, get back. We are starting. Hey, don't make me say it again. Come back here. You find yourself being the parent that's like, one. I don't even know what happens after one. I just know that they listen when you say one.
One.
All of a sudden, all the heads turn and they're like,
God.
I better start listening.
I've never done that. I've never done the one.
No?
No. But
Yo,
as soon as Zach Braff said it, it all came back to me from when my mother used to say it.
One. In our house, the counting up to 3 is used every day.
Really?
Every day.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so great.
Okay, now this is Cheaper by the Dozen, a remake of the super popular film Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yeah.
What sets this Cheaper by the Dozen away from the other Cheaper by the Dozen?
Well, I think Disney and the genius writer Kenya Barris, who created Blackish and many other shows, said, why don't we make a 2022 version that reflects families today? Many people across the world have families that don't necessarily look like the Steve Martin version. They have, ours is a mixed race family. There's a disabled child. There's a parent that's dealing with depression, but through the genius of Kenya's writing, it still managed to be a really funny family comedy.
It's David Morey talking to Zach Braff about Cheaper by the Dozen, which hits Disney Plus tomorrow.
This movie is so fantastic, and it taught me one thing. It taught me that you one day are going to be I am so jealous of your kid's amazing dad.
Thank you.
What did it teach you about being a father?
That I don't want 10. But just that you can learn so much from kids. These kids in real life, I'd spent so much time with them, and they're so smart, and they would ask the most interesting questions and say the sweetest things. And I just learned how heartwarming it is to have a child in your life. And there's a few I bonded with in particular and have stayed close with. I love them. And it made me want to be a father of maybe one or two.
Dude, this movie is fantastic.
Not
You are
10.
so perfect in this. I
No.
adore you. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
And
I
thank
can't wait
you-
to see you one day with your camera helmet back on.
Well, yes, if we had I would put it on, but you'll wait till you're in town.
All right.
Zach Braff, always a pleasure having him on the Roz and Mocha Show. You can check out Cheaper by the Dozen out on Disney Plus tomorrow.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hey, did you see this thing with Sam Jackson talking about how he wants to bring Mace Windu back?
Back to the Star Wars galaxy?
Back to the Star Wars galaxy.
But he didn't die. Did he die?
No, I
His
don't.
arm was chopped off.
Yeah, I think.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, he lost an arm or a hand or something
It was
like
an
that.
arm. I remember. Palpatine sliced his, I believe it was his
God,
left
you
arm.
remember who sliced it, huh?
Yeah,
If there's a nerd out there who can let us know exactly what went down,
in Sith, by the way, Revenge of the Sith.
Because I only ever saw, the prequel movies, I only ever saw them each once.
Oh, no, I've seen them all multiple times.
I've never watched them.
Even though I don't like them, I've seen them.
Have you really, huh?
Yeah.
No, I could.
Like whenever they're on TV and stuff, like Showcase, that network.
Yeah.
I guess they have the rights for all the Star Wars movies. They show
Right.
them all the time.
Really, huh?
So I'll catch bits and pieces of each one of them anytime they're on TV.
So here's Sam Jackson talking to, what podcast is this? It's the something podcast.
Okay. I love that podcast.
Yeah, it's great.
Is Mace Windu, he's alive with one hand somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. There's a huge history of people with one hand returning in Star Wars.
The only person I've ever said that to about coming back was Bryce Dallas Howard, because I just did a movie with her, and she directs episodes of The Mandalorian and stuff. So you think you might be able to hook a brother up? Put me back in this.
Put me back in the game. I'm ready.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready. I'll learn to, lightsaber left-handed. Come on. Hook me up.
So I guess he did. Yeah. What were you saying, Shao?
I was going to tell you it's the Sad, Happy, Confused podcast.
That's what I said. The something podcast.
You're right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Love that podcast.
That's what I
Jay
said,
just texted. He had his arm chopped off, and I believe he fell out of a window. But they said that he
Mace Windu fell out of a windy.
But they never really confirmed that he was dead. Another person said his arm was cut off and he was thrown out of a skyscraper. I do remember that.
Oh, right.
But now here's the thing.
Yeah.
With the Obi-Wan show on Disney that's coming out soon at the end of May, I wonder if Sam Jackson, by saying this,
right, no,
like he's already in an episode, and this is more of like
no,
a tease.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I do, but that
because they like to, in some of these shows, they like to give like little surprises.
Believe me, I think that if Sam Jackson was in Star Wars, he would be saying he's in Star Wars.
I don't think so.
I do. 100%.
No way.
I don't think Sam Jackson.
Do you remember,
I don't
without
think he plays
spoiling
that game.
anything, but do you remember the very last episode of Mandalorian? The big reveal?
Yes.
You don't think that big reveal, they would have wanted to hype that up?
No.
Or, that they would have hyped that up? Like, I'm glad that they kept it a secret.
Yeah, that's a secret. Sam Jackson in Obi-Wan is not a secret.
No?
No. I think that's casting news. I don't think that's a secret. Because yesterday we found out that it was the big bad in Obi-Wan was supposed to be Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Which I would have thought people would have loved that. And then and
curious to see what happened.
Yeah, and then he
got sliced in half at the end of part 1. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, and then they got rid of Darth Maul. They just wrote him right out of the show, and then they figured out a way to bring in Darth Vader because I think they just wanted to go bigger.
Yeah.
Like Darth Maul maybe wasn't as big of a bad as they needed for this. They needed it to be centered around Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader. I guess I don't know. I don't know, but I would have loved to have
Darth
seen
Maul
that.
stuff. You think that they're just trying to throw us all off again?
No.
I just have all these Star Wars conspiracy theories.
But your conspiracy theories go too far almost. Like, what if Garfield's in the movie?
But that's just ridiculous.
Wait, is it though?
Garfield.
Right?
Garfield in the galaxy.
Right. You don't know. You don't know.
What color is his lightsaber?
Right?
Orange?
Oh yeah, the color. It's the color of lasagna. Right? That's all you need. That's all you need to know. No, but I'm looking forward to it. I would like to see Sam Jackson back in that world because I think Sam Jackson's just great at everything he does.
Oh yeah,
even
fan
though,
favorite.
Yeah, even though I wasn't the biggest Mace Windu fan or anything
Nobody
like that.
was, but people are Sam Jackson fans.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So that's why you want to see him.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
All righty, here we go.
All right, here we go. Hey, Mocha.
Yes, sir.
You ready?
Let's do the news.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
News break.
Major League Baseball owners and players reached a new collective bargaining agreement yesterday, meaning that the 99-day lockout is over. Opening days have been rescheduled to April 7th, 1 week later than it was supposed to go down, but teams will still play a full 162-game season. This is Commissioner Rob Manfred.
I do want to start by apologizing to our fans. I know that the last few months have been difficult. There was a lot of uncertainty. At a point in time when there's a lot of uncertainty in the world, sort of the way the process of collective bargaining works sometimes, but I do apologize for it.
Toronto Blue Jays head to Dunedin this weekend. Their first spring training game will be next weekend. Their home opener will now be on April 8th against the Texas Rangers. The Jays haven't had a home opener since 2019.
It's crazy, huh? In addition to the economic aspects of the deal, they did include a draft lottery to discourage teams from tanking intentionally. The National League is adopting the designated hitter, expanding 12-team postseason, the return of 9-inning doubleheaders, and they're scrapping the runner on second and extra innings. The players have also signed off on the league making future changes, such as the implementation of a pitch clock. That's great news. Banning the shift. I don't know what that means. And making bases larger. Those
Seriously?
changes could come into effect as soon as next
how much
season.
larger,
I think
though?
just like when you see little leagues play, first base is always double sized.
Yeah.
So you cut out on collisions and stuff. I think that's maybe what they're gonna do.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Britney Spears and Caitlyn Jenner were two of the stars who toured Drake's house that's for sale.
Oh, the one in L.A.?
The one in L.A. for $14.8 million or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Because Drake bought another house for $50 million up the street, so he's got to unload the $14 million house.
Right.
Crazy. But Britney and Caitlyn Jenner were involved in that.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Let's get to the Dead Eyes podcast. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. This was a podcast hosted by an actor named Connor Ratliff. And Connor Ratliff went on Seth Meyers to explain what happened on where the Dead Eyes podcast came from. So this is Connor.
Okay, so in the year 2000, I was a young actor fresh out of drama school. I was cast in a very small speaking role in the HBO miniseries Band of Brothers.
A fantastic show.
Great show. Great show.
Fantastic.
I was so excited to be a part of it. And then I found great news. Tom Hanks is directing your episode. And then the day before I was supposed to film my episode, I got a call, frantic, from my agent's office saying, you have to get there right away. Tom Hanks has looked at your audition tape, and he's having second thoughts. He thinks you have dead eyes. And so I had to go and re-audition in person for Tom Hanks. And minutes later, I was told they were deciding to go another way.
So this is,
very sad story.
Very sad story.
Yeah.
Not only, I think any actor would dread being told they have dead eyes, but to get it from the person who is considered the nicest man in show business.
Yes, but this was the nicest man in show business. So I thought, I'm so broken as a person. My eyes are so awful that the nicest man in show business couldn't even bear to have me be the tiniest part of Band of Brothers. With all the horrible things that happened in World War II, we can't show this to the audience.
Okay. So Connor did 30 episodes, and he interviewed a lot of big stars on this show, and it wasn't malicious. Like it wasn't vindictive. It was really quite great. But one of the people he interviewed was Colin Hanks, Tom Hanks' son. And then on episode 30, Tom Hanks himself showed up on Colin's podcast to address the dead eyes comment. So this is Tom Hanks talking to Connor.
First of all, I should have said, I don't know. Let's take another look at this guy. Someone should have said, and by the way, I'm not saying this was all on me. Don't think for a minute that someone else got in here. But I will tell you a story because I've been thinking about this moment sitting here with you.
Yeah.
If someone said, well, he's already been cast, then I would have said, oh, well, it's a bunt, no problem then. Somewhere in the course of that, a director will get a bug about something. And I don't know why I had a bug about the guy who was playing Zelensky, other than trying to make sure that, one, he looked like he was a paratrooper, because all those guys were. They all jumped out of planes, even if they were just typing. And two, who knows what else goes on in there. All right. But let's imagine I actually watched the tape and said to somebody, I don't know, man. This guy's got dead eyes. I'm going to say, I said that. Obviously, I said that. Dead eyes.
Okay. But here's the big problem in all of this, and Tom Hanks explains it perfectly, which is, yes, Tom Hanks does admit that he did refer to Connor as having dead eyes. But the big problem in all of this is that Connor should never have been told that.
In the inner sanctum of whatever this casting session was, on Band of Brothers, with me and the crack staff, I'm sure I said, I don't know, man, that guy's got dead eyes. I could have said he's got too blonde hair.
Oh, right.
I could have said he's too tall, and I can't have the aide be taller than Captain Winters. I could have said he's too short and slight. He doesn't look like a pear. I could have said any of these things.
Yeah.
And they would have been true, and there would have been the opinion. And if someone had also said to me, well, he's already cast, I would have said, well, can we replace him? I would have said that. And I've done it and I think it's been said about me on occasion as well. All right. So with that, whoever communicated to you what was said in the inner sanctum with such authenticity should have their kneecaps broken, because that is not allowed.
Oh no!
The inner sanctum is like the dugout, man. It's not quotable there. It's off the record.
Right.
I could have said his face is too red, and if someone comes back to you and says your face is too red to be in this show, that's what That's what the man in charge says. So what you should have been told was, they wouldn't have said you have to re-audition. Said, you should come down and meet Tom. You should have been told that.
Yeah.
Not that there was any sort of test that was involved.
God, this
But you know
poor
what,
guy.
though?
Yeah.
If that
He's
didn't
right.
happen,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks is correct.
Yeah.
But if that situation didn't happen, this guy would never have been able to put together 30 episodes of this podcast that took off.
But he would have done Band of Brothers, and look at what happened to everybody else's career who was in Band of Brothers.
Oh, yeah, facts. But how many of them have a popular podcast?
Where they finally got to address Tom Hanks?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Jussie Smollett in Chicago yesterday. This is the Empire actor who staged his own hate crime, where he hired those two brothers to rough him up and put a noose around his neck and pour bleach on him. Although what came out in the trial was they actually didn't get around to putting the noose on his neck, so Jussie did that himself and then tightened it up even further when the cops arrived, and you saw that on body cam. But none of that stuff was actually illegal. You can pay people to beat you up and not go to jail. What he was on trial for was for lying about it to the police, and then the resources that the Chicago PD spent trying to solve this case. So Smollett yesterday sentenced to 150 days in jail, 30 months probation, has to repay $120 in restitution to the city, and he was also fined $25,000. But it was the Judge James Lynn. It was his scathing remarks.
Oh, man.
Like absolutely brutal, scathing remarks before he let Jussie know what the sentence actually was. So here's a little bit of Judge James Lynn.
Your very name has become an adverb for lying. And I cannot imagine what could be worse than that. People talk about situations where somebody's lying and trying to manipulate and maneuver a story, and your name comes up. And it's, pulling a Jussie, something like that. That's awful. You're the butt of jokes. Comedians, mainstream talk show hosts, they make jokes about you. They do sketches about you. I can't imagine anything worse than that. No, this is all self-inflicted. These are things you did to yourself. This is self-damage.
Yo, you think this judge freestyled all of this stuff that he's saying?
No, they write it all, but a lot of it probably was sort of a mishmash of a lot of other thoughts. So here is more of Judge James Lynn.
I wonder how many rewrites he had to do before settling on this.
Because this is a series of burns.
There's some conjecture you did it for the money. Frankly, I do not believe that you did it for the money. You were making, the evidence showed, close to $2 million a year when this happened. I don't think money motivated you at all. But the only thing I can find is that you really craved the attention, and you wanted to get the attention, and you were so invested in issues of social justice, and you knew that this was a sore spot for everybody in this country. You knew this was a country that was slowly trying to heal past injustices and current injustices and trying to make a better future for each other, and it was a hard road. And you took some scabs off some healing wounds and you ripped them apart for one reason. You wanted to make yourself more famous. And for a while it worked.
Damn.
Everybody was talking about you. The lights were on you. You were actually throwing a national pity party for yourself. Why would you do such a thing? Why would you, I understand, you crave the attention so much, but why would you betray something like social justice issues, which you care so much about? The only thing I can conclude is that and I acknowledge there are wonderful sides to you. There are very giving and charitable and loving sides to you. But you have another side of you that is profoundly arrogant and selfish and narcissistic. That's the only thing that can be concluded.
We were all texting each other last night during this. Before we get to what Jussie said when he started going off on the fact that he's not suicidal, Shem, what are your thoughts?
Oh, wow.
Because everything, none of this would be as bad if he would just say, guys, I did this.
Right from the beginning.
I did the thing. But he hasn't said that. He's still saying he didn't do it.
Yeah, my biggest issue with the whole Jussie Smollett case is that he weaponized, real issues that are happening and were happening at the time in 2019 in the States. There are real victims of hate crimes, and he doesn't need to fake it. I mean, there are tons of things. There are tons of cases, and you have to think about where America was during that time, right? You're coming off off, Michael Brown. You're coming off Laquan McDonald, Tamir Rice,
Donald Trump, yeah.
right? You're coming off all those cases. There's no need to inflame it by making up stories, and it's just disappointing that he would do that.
And to do it for fame, right? Because that's what it came down to.
Oh, absolutely.
So Jesse gets a chance to address the court, and he goes off. It's difficult to hear, so we'll tell you exactly what he said in a second. But he starts saying that he's not suicidal, and he wanted that to be known in case something happens to him in the joint. Listen.
Okay, I am not suicidal. Okay? I am not suicidal. I am innocent, and I am not suicidal. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of black Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBTQ community. Your Honor, I respect you, and I respect the jury, but I did not do this, and I am not suicidal. And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself, and you must all know that. I respect you, Your Honor. I respect your decision. Jail time. I am not suicidal.
Okay. And then when he was leaving, he threw because they took him right away to jail. His lawyers were like, "Can we just stay this until he appeals?" And the judge was like, "No, he's going to the
jail. Your jail time starts now.
Yeah, he's going to the joint today." So when he was walking out, he stuck his fist in the air and just continued on with the "I'm not suicidal."
It's the custody sheriff. Court is adjourned.
I am not suicidal. I am not suicidal, and I am innocent. I could have said that I was guilty a long time ago.
Well, you should have, because you are, sir.
Jeez, man. So what he said there was, if I did this, it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of black Americans for over 400 years in this country and the fears of the LGBT community. If anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do this to myself. You must all know that. So that's what he was saying. Because I guess he thinks that, I don't know, he's going to wind up like Jeffrey Epstein or something like that.
He thinks he's a hero or a martyr. Yeah. And it's really, it's just gross. It's gross.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Critics' Choice Awards last night. Jane Campion, the director of The Power of the Dog. So you go from being, within a 24-hour period, like the absolute, hero to being the villain. And that's what Jane Campion went through over the course of the Critics' Choice Awards. So she was on the red carpet and was asked to respond to Sam Elliott's comments on what he thought of Power of the Dog. So Sam Elliott, he did the Mark Maron podcast a couple of weeks ago and went in on Power of the Dog and had nothing nice to say about it.
So, I mean, they made it look like, what are all those dancers, those guys in New York that wear bow ties and not much else?
Uh-huh.
Remember them from back in the day?
Oh, the Chippendales?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what all these cowboys in that movie looked like.
Uh-huh.
They're all running around in chaps and no shirts. There's all these allusions of homosexuality throughout the movie.
Yeah. I think that's what the movie's about.
Yeah. Well, what the is this woman from...
Who, Jane Campion?
Yeah. She's a brilliant director, by the way. I love her work.
Right.
Previous work.
Sure.
But what the does this woman from down there
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Right.
Know about the American West?
Okay. And then so Jane Campion was on the red carpet for the Critics' Choice Awards and was talking to Variety and said this.
Were you surprised by Sam Elliott's comments?
I think Sam, look, what can I say? I'm sorry. He was being a little bit of a bitch. And I'm sorry to say it, but he's not a cowboy. He's an actor. And the West is a mythic space, and there's a lot of room on the range. And I think it is a little bit sexist, because if you think about the number of amazing westerns that were made in Spain by Sergio Leone, I consider myself a creator. And I think he sees me as a woman or something lesser first, and I don't appreciate that.
Okay, so hero, right?
Yeah. So
Jane,
trying to understand.
Okay.
Where the downfall comes.
Okay, so Jane Campion going into the Critics' Choice Awards, hero. Jane Campion wins for Power of the Dog, gets on stage. During her acceptance speech, she's going through the room, as they always do, thanking other people who are nominated, some of the other big stars that are there. Yeah. Mentions Will Smith, but it's when she mentions Venus and Serena Williams is when it all goes to hell for her. Listen to this.
And Venus and Serena, what an honor to be in the room with you. I've taken up tennis. I truly have, and Will, if you want to come over and give me lessons. I would truly love it. I actually had to stop playing because I got tennis elbow. And, Serena and Venus, you are such marvels. However, you do not play against the guys.
Oh.
Like I have to.
Oh. Oh, Jane Campion.
Yeah.
And
So
then you
that
got
was
the whole
the
auditorium cheering for that comment.
Yeah, I know. So that was the comment. Now they were seen together at the Netflix after party. They did pictures together. I don't know whether they talked about it or not, but that was the comment that turned Jane Campion into a villain following the Critics' Choice Award. This was like, remember when John McEnroe, he was doing an interview where they said where would the Williams sisters rank if they played on the men's circuit, and he said 700th. And he got killed for it. And then a lot of people sort of agreed with him. But everybody went in on Jane Campion last night because there are a sizable. There's a lot of people who truly believe that if Venus and Serena were on the men's circuit in their prime, they would dominate as they do, which is not the case. I don't even think that they feel that way. When they were 16 and 17, they said that they could beat any man who was ranked below 200, and then somebody who was ranked, I think, like 203 beat them both. They were super young. And then after that, they were like, okay, we could beat any man ranked below 350, right? Like they understood the sort of, their place in that world.
Jane Campion.
But to say that, like to just like, it just takes everything away. Like to just say, you guys are great, but you don't have to compete against men. It's just such an awful thing to say.
Did anyone reach out to Sam Elliott
because they
since?
don't have to compete against. Like it's just. I understand if they were ducking opponents, right?
Mm-hmm.
I understand if the sport were, in order to achieve everything as a female tennis player, you had to also beat men, and they just sort of sidestepped it and skirted their way to the top without having those achievements. But that's not the sport, right?
It doesn't work that way.
So to say to them, in some sort of backhanded way, hey, listen, I'm up here right now. I beat all these guys. I have to compete against all these guys. You guys are great, but you don't have to compete against the men. It's just such a snide thing to say.
She said you don't have to compete against men like I do.
Like I do,
oh,
yes.
Come on, Jane.
I know, it's just... So anyway, so that's why Jane Campion was trending as the hero, and then Jane Campion was trending as the villain. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. But they were together. They were all together. Yeah. And, I guess maybe they talked it out or got along, or maybe they didn't care. I think this may be one of those situations where other people care more than the Williams sisters do. I have no idea.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Director Jane Campion has apologized for her comments towards Venus and Serena Williams at the Critics' Choice Awards. She was accepting an award for Best Director the other night, and the Williams sisters were there because she was talking about how much she loved their movie, everything else. Mm-hmm. And then made this comment in her acceptance speech.
And Venus and Serena, what an honor to be in the room with you. I've taken up tennis. I truly have, and Will, if you want to come over and give me lessons. I would truly love it. I actually had to stop playing because I got tennis elbow. And, Serena and Venus, you are such marvels. However, you do not play against the guys. Like I have to.
Still surprising that a room full of people were cheering like that.
Sure.
I guess you're all caught up in the moment.
Jane
whatever.
Campion, exactly, says this. I made a thoughtless comment equating what I do in the film world with all that Serena and Venus Williams have achieved. I did not intend to devalue these two legendary black women and world-class athletes. She goes on to say, the fact is the Williams sisters have actually squared off against men on the court and off, and they have both raised the bar and opened doors for what is possible for women in this world. The last thing I would ever want to do is minimize remarkable women. I love Serena and Venus. Their accomplishments are titanic and inspiring. Serena and Venus, I apologize and completely celebrate you. So there's the apology from Jane Campion.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Tom Brady unretired.
Come on, dog.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
even 2 full months that you
No.
announce your retirement.
40 days.
He's acting like Cher.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, it's all those guys. He said these past 2 months, I've realized my place is still on the field and not in the stands.
Come on,
that
man.
time will come, but it's not now. I love my teammates and I love my supportive family. They make it all possible. I'm coming back for my 23rd season in Tampa, unfinished business. And I guess the real pisser of all of this is the same day yesterday that he announced his retirement.
Or unretirement.
His unretirement. Somebody paid $518,000 for what was supposed to be Tom Brady's final touchdown football.
No.
At an auction.
What a sucker.
Right?
Oh, that sucks. That's bad.
Right? I'd ask Tom Brady. I'd go on social media and say, listen, you're not getting the ball back. I'm keeping the ball.
Yeah.
But, bro, you owe me $520,000.
1,000% agree.
Yeah.
Tom Brady should pony up some money to pay this person
I
that bought
agree.
the ball.
I agree.
I don't think that's
would.
right.
Yeah, I think it's mean.
Or
And
like,
I mean-
who did the auction? Was it like a
I have
auction
no
house?
I
or?
don't know, some sort of, but you can't, there's no, you can't give it back.
Yeah, no,
You know,
I
it was
There's no
that
refunds.
when you bought it, it was his final touchdown football, right? Like you
So
can.
you better pray he doesn't make any touchdowns when he comes back this next season.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Succession, one of the big winners last night at the Critics' Choice Awards. Kieran Culkin, who doesn't usually get a whole lot of time on stages in front of microphones at these kinds of things. You either love the character he does on Succession or you hate that character. I love Roman.
Same.
I think he's awesome. I love his physicality in that role and the way he holds himself. He's always hunched over and pissed off, and the writing that they give him is so incredible. The way that just these string of like brilliantly put together insults laced with like the harshest profanities and anti-political
The timing of everything is like absolutely perfect.
It's great. So anyway, Kieran Culkin wins at the Critics' Choice Awards, walks up and gives an acceptance speech that only Kieran Culkin can give.
Thanks. Shut up. Awful. I was just telling Jeremy how I really hope they don't say my name. I was really looking forward to that relief of not having to say anything. I have not prepared anything, so anything can come out.
Oh, no.
So I don't know what to say here. Thanks, critics. Wow. I'm going to say that Succession has just been a dream. All of our actors are so fantastic to work with. I love you, Snook, so much. Wish you could be here. And you too, Jay. Shut up. She hates when I single out Snook as someone that I love to work with. So, Jay, I'm going to tell you right now, I think you are probably my favorite actor to do scenes with. After Sarah Snook.
Oh. Good one.
Fun fact, Snook's last name is actually pronounced Snook, but I just can't do that, right? Another fun fact, Matthew McFadden's name is David. I'm just dropping bombs here. It's true. Look it up. I'm just talking now. I'm just saying things. I'm just dying up here right now.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, please wrap it up. You're right. I should have done that like 30 seconds ago. I should have walked up here and said, thanks, and then walked out. Because now I'm just making an ass of myself. But, yeah, thanks. You're never going to do this for me again.
Good one. The most Kieran Culkin thing to do.
Ray Romano at the Critics' Choice Awards last night. He did not win for Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series, but he was presenting another award where he decided to give some thank yous of his own.
So I want to say right now I want to say I love you to my wife who's here. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for letting me do that. I'm like most guys, it's much easier. I don't say it enough. I just don't say it. It's much easier during sex. Yeah. Or acceptance speeches. It's very, yeah.
Ray Romano.
And so I'm glad I said it because I don't think either one of those are going to happen tonight. Right? No, we're not. No.
Way to go, Ray.
Oh, Ray Romano, so funny, man.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Dousing yourself with bursts of pressure, they say, can help your body and your mind weather tough times. So they're talking about the idea of hot saunas and cold showers, okay? And how if you can incorporate a not cold shower into the hot sauna to warm up, but if you can go from hot sauna to cold shower, it'll help you sleep better, it'll reduce stress, all sorts of other things. So they've looked into cold water therapy. You know, everybody's dunking their faces in ice water on TikTok right now. So some research has also looked into how saunas affect your bodies. We know that. But when you combine these, so a hot sauna and then cold water, you get a pretty good picture of the health benefits that one might experience from that transition of hot to cold. So the key thing is called, it's resistant stress. And it's a concept called hormesis, I guess is how you say it.
Sounds gross.
I know. Basically, it's short, intermittent bursts of certain stressors. And when you do that, it can trigger a cascade of cellular processes that make you more resilient to future physical and mental stress, thus enhancing your longevity. Basically, this is the what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So they suggest going from a hot sauna to work this somehow into your life, going from a hot sauna into a freezing cold either shower or bath or lake or whatever it is, because that stress, when you give your body that stress, there's actual great benefits that come from
I'm not
that.
doing that.
You wouldn't do that?
No, I need a warm/hot shower.
Right.
I would go
a sauna.
I would go from a hot sauna into a hot shower.
You would. Yeah.
I
Or maybe would you go from a cold shower into a hot sauna?
Yes.
You would. But
I would
you
do that.
You would never end on the cold, though.
No,
You would never
never.
end on the cold, huh?
You do that sometimes, like if you're at somebody's pool and they have the hot tub, you'll jump from the hot tub right into the pool afterwards and shock yourself.
Right. Yeah, I guess that's sort of the same thing, although that pool is probably 75 degrees. You just came out of 110, hot tub.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
I'm done going. I'm done going in other people's hot tubs.
Yeah,
I used to enjoy it a lot. Like if somebody had a hot tub, you'd be like, "Whoa, we hot
My
tubbing."
dad just ordered one, Ross.
Did he?
Did he
I'm
really?
not.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Yo,
I'm
Frank gets
not.
in the hot tub all the time, huh?
Well, he will once it arrives.
Yeah, no, I can't. You just sit there and stare at somebody, right? Like it's just there's nothing to do, and it's so weird. Your feet touch, and it's
Awkward.
filthy. And no, hot tubs aren't for me. Saunas I like. I prefer a steam room to a sauna.
What's the
right? If I have the choice, one is dry, one is wet. I prefer wet.
Oh.
Like if I'm going to be hot, I want to be wet hot.
No, but you can't see the guy next to you in that one.
Wow.
Wow. You know what I mean? Like
Maury,
Maury, members at like multiple gyms. You know what I mean? Maybe I wouldn't say this stuff on the radio.
Jeez, man.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Now that everybody's going back to work, things are changing. All the companies are changing.
Okay.
Everybody's adapting to a sort of hybrid. Maybe you work a little from home. Maybe you come into the office, and corporate culture, employee culture, all of that is changing. And people who are now sort of going back into the office are understanding the things that will never be the same again. And that is also true for people who work for massive companies like Facebook or Meta, I guess it is now. So they...
You got to sign out like a meta desk now?
Exactly. So listen to this story. So somebody who works at Facebook went on an anonymous job forum to talk about what's pissing him off about having to go back to work for Facebook because how things have changed. So this guy goes on to talk about, first of all, he said that he has a reported compensation, total compensation, or TC as they call it, which includes salary, stock options, and other benefits. So he has a total compensation of $850,000.
What?
Went on to complain about the perks that were now being taken away from Facebook employees upon their return to the office. So aside from him complaining about restrictions on free dinners,
Yeah.
downturns in the market leading to a $200,000 reduction in his TC, that is his total compensation, a cut to childcare reimbursements. The thing that he was really pissed off about was the loss of laundry service provided by Facebook.
Get out of here.
So
Facebook does your laundry?
Facebook does your laundry.
If you work for them?
Yes.
Get out of here.
Yes. So I know what you're thinking, right? Load it all up into a bag, walk it into the office, drop it off in some sort of laundry thing, take it with you on your way home.
Yeah.
No.
Why?
Oh, no. The perk goes way beyond that. So this is what he wrote. I have been using the laundry benefit and love that the cleaners come home, pick up my stuff, and bring it back.
What?
Such a helpful one where clothes are folded and I don't have to worry as much and I can focus on my work.
Oh, get out of here, you jabroni. Get out
You
of
don't even
here.
have to bring your laundry to the office.
Get out of here. You have nothing to complain about.
They sent you somebody
Yeah.
to your house to pick up your laundry.
With all the other perks, you have nothing to complain about.
So a Facebook representative confirmed that the company will no longer provide laundry service as part of its transition to their, quote, hybrid workforce that they're going back to.
Also, be grateful that you still have a job after all this.
Right. So $850,000. They're cutting back on the child care reimbursement and no more laundry service for Facebook employees.
Douchebag. Get out of here. Get out of here.
What a crazy world, huh?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Oh, Barack Obama's presidential library claims that they have 3,440 pages and some 26,000 electronic files possibly related to the existence of UFOs and related phenomenon.
Yes. Amazing.
So this all came out, remember the beginning of COVID, all these Navy generals were coming out talking about all these videos they had where you couldn't explain what was in the sky. And it was really the existence of aliens, or at least alien craft, and nobody really said anything. I thought that we were all going to be far more blown away than what we actually were.
No, because finally the government is admitting what we all already knew.
So thanks to a Freedom of Information Act that was requested by John Greenwald Jr. of a place called the Black Vault, which is a clearinghouse for declassified government documents. Now, in response to his Freedom of Information request, the Obama Library said that it had thousands of documents that might be possibly related to his request about UFOs, and it would take some time to sort through it all. So last year, the Pentagon released a report claiming that not everything seen in the sky could be explained away with current science. When Obama was on with James Corden, do you remember? He said, when it comes to aliens, there are some things I just can't tell you on air. He went on to say, but what is true is that there is footage and records of objects in the sky that we don't know exactly what they are. And so with all these thousands of documents to go through, a lot of them you have to realize are going to be redacted and all marked up and everything else. It's going to take some time before Greenwald Jr. sees the paperwork that he had requested. But again, according to the Obama Library, there are 26,271 files in the library that are related to UFOs.
These are videos and stuff?
I don't know. Why? You know what? With all the craziness with Trump, right? As much of a disaster as he was and as much of a loose cannon as he was, how is he not the former president that just hit send on all this stuff to everybody
just
for
to
free?
blow everything up.
Yeah. How is he not the alien guy?
Do you think that when a president is sworn in and they're given all the details, all the information that they need to know, right? Do you think at any point are they flown secretly to Area 51 and given a tour?
No.
Or is it just somebody at Area 51 on FaceTime?
I think like everything else, it's in a binder and some other nerd reads it and then they sit in an office and then they read it to the president. I think that's pretty much what it is.
You don't think as a president you'd want to go there?
No.
And see what's been happening behind that fence that reads danger?
I don't know.
Area
Who
51?
knows? Maybe nothing's happening there. Maybe that's not even where it is. We don't know.
Area
we have no idea.
Area 52. That's where,
Area 52.
That's where the real secrets are.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
R.I.P. Scott Hall, a.k.a. Razor Ramon. Any fan of WWF and WWE back in the 90s, Scott Hall, a.k.a. Razor Ramon. He passed away yesterday at the age of 63. He had been recovering from hip replacement surgery, and then he had a series of heart attacks over the weekend in a Georgia hospital, and then blood clots were released, and he was put on life support, and they took him off life support yesterday. Mocha, your fondest memories of Scott Hall?
Oh, man. Fondest? Well, two. The very first time he won the time he won the very first ladder match against Shawn Michaels at, I think it was WrestleMania 10.
Yeah.
Is that right, Shem?
Yep,
WrestleMania 10?
Yeah.
Yep.
And he became Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
And then when he jumped sides, he went from WWE to WCW.
Right.
And started that whole chain reaction of bad guys forming the NWO, which completely changed wrestling.
They put together this tribute for him. So this was the WWE Network?
Yeah, this was they aired this last night.
They did, huh?
Yeah.
Scott Hall was a pioneer. We are taking over.
It just felt real. Felt you were getting something special.
Hey, yo, are you here to see the...
This was one of the best things that ever happened in business.
When you're NWO, you're NWO for life.
The WWE family will forever remember Scott Hall as a gifted entertainer and two-time WWE Hall of Famer.
Hey, yo.
A loving father and a dear friend.
Hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
Yeah.
There you go.
And you know
R.I.P.
what's so
Scott
sad?
Hall.
Like, this guy lived a hard life.
Super hard, yeah.
And had battled addiction for a lot of it. And it was only in the last 2-3 years that he got clean.
Yeah.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Yo, Kanye and Pete Davidson, huh?
Oh, bro, this is getting out of hand. I mean, it was out of hand before, way before, but after everything that went down over the past couple of days.
So up to this point, it's really been a one-sided fight, right?
Yeah.
Up to this point, Pete Davidson hasn't said anything. He keeps activating and then deleting his Instagram account. He really hasn't said anything. So Kanye goes on social yesterday and starts posting up all these videos, praying and monologues, and one of them had to do with his adamant feelings towards his daughter North on TikTok, because North is on TikTok with her mom Kim, and Kanye is very much against it and feels that this is more evidence to how he's being treated in that relationship and being held away from his kids.
Hey everybody, I just got off the phone with Kim. I told her to stop antagonizing me with this TikTok thing. I said it's never again. I am her father. I know y'all don't respect fathers and the idea of family, and media tries to promote something. I said, I am not allowing my daughter to be used by TikTok, to be used by Disney. I have a say-so. And then when people say, oh, they're going to use this for you in court, I didn't have a say-so on whether or not they went to Sierra Canyon. Most men do not, there's no such thing as 50-50 custody with in society today. That's not even, it always leans towards the mom. But right now, and I'm happy that you guys got to see just a small piece of what I dealt with. You understand what I'm saying?
So then in his next video, he brings up Pete, or Skeet as he calls him, but he brings up Pete and talks about how Pete is the one who is actually behind the scenes antagonizing Kanye. Listen to this.
At this point, it's going too far. God, please. The boyfriend texts me, antagonizing me, bragging about being in bed with my wife. I thought it publicly for a year and a half. I've been dragged, and how she's not my wife. She don't have her last name. And now he texting me, talking and bragging about how he's in bed with my wife. And I'm like, well, who's watching my children if he's texting me, bragging about being in bed with my wife? The devil ain't gonna win. You get what I'm saying? This is gaslighting. Kim gets black people out of prison. You know who puts black people in prison? The person that the boyfriend has a tattoo of, Hillary. You understand the setup right here? You understand the narrative right here?
So that was it. So he's like, the boyfriend texting me saying that he's in bed with my wife, and everybody's like, what? And then so later on in the day, all these text messages between Pete and Kanye get released. As people, like, they've not been 100% verified. Pete Davidson has not specifically said, yes, those are my text messages, but everybody's just sort of going along with the idea that they are. So
actually, the text came from Pete Davidson's friend, Dave Cyrus, who shared the text first.
Right, but what I'm saying is that Pete has not confirmed them.
No,
Okay.
correct.
So Pete writes Kanye, and I don't know when this is from, but Pete writes Kanye, and he goes, yo, it's Skeet. Can you please take a second to calm down? It's 8 a.m., and it don't gotta be like this. Kim is literally the best mother I've ever met. What she does for those kids is amazing, and you're so effing lucky that she's your kid's mom. I've decided I'm not gonna let you treat us this way anymore, and I'm done being quiet. Grow the F up. And then Kanye wrote, you using profanity? Where are you right now? And then Pete replied, in bed with your wife, with a photo of himself lying in bed taking a selfie with his tongue sticking out.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people have pointed out that if you look at Pete's shoulder, it looks like he's got a brand new Kim tattoo, where he has Kim tattooed on him.
Yeah. Kanye must have been flipping
And then
at that point.
And then Kanye writes, happy to see you out of the hospital and rehab. And then Pete writes, same here. It's wonderful that those places do when you get help. You should try it. I'm in LA for the day, and if you want to stop being a little internet biatch boy and talk, you don't scare me, bro. Your actions are so blank and embarrassing. It's so sad to watch you ruin your legacy on the daily. And then Kanye says, you're more than welcome to come to Sunday service. And Pete says, why don't we meet after Sunday service at Saints game? I'll be at the Beverly Hills Hilton. We can have food and talk it out of my room, private one-on-one, man-to-man. What you're doing to your family is dangerous and going to scar them for life. Please handle these matters privately, bro. I beg you. And then Kanye just wrote, if you want to see me, come to Sunday service. And then Pete wrote other stuff. But what makes this interesting is when Pete sent Kanye that selfie in Kim's bed, let's just say it's Kim's bed. Don't you remember when the story was, and I know Frankie Grande and a lot of other people said that it wasn't true, but do you remember when the rumor was that Pete Davidson sent really awful things to Mac Miller after they broke up and he was with Ariana Grande?
Don't remember that at all.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, like, good for Pete Davidson for taking the high road on this and, like, trying to be level-headed as he can be with Kanye and trying to calm the situation.
Well, you always have to be in text because you never know when they'll get released.
I think Pete Davidson was being a total D-bag this whole time.
I love it.
You love it?
For Pete, Kanye's the worst.
I'm not. No, they're both bad, but Pete is no hero in this.
I didn't know about that, all that Mac Miller, Ariana Grande stuff.
Neither did I. But here's the thing: Kanye West has been. You talk about antagonizing. The man said he's going to kill Pete Davidson in a video.
Right, but what we don't know now is up until now we thought that Pete Davidson was sitting there doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now that you have a little bit of this,
But
what are you doing
came
right
out.
now?
You don't know if these were from before that video.
Well, that's what I'm saying,
Even
right?
so,
Exactly.
Even so, Kanye West is out, parading with other women, with Julia Fox. He's doing all these other things. So why? Where is a double standard?
Well, I don't know.
Kanye can do whatever he wants.
I don't think Pete Davidson. I think Pete Davidson was alone, lying in his own bed.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
Was not next to Kim.
Sure.
And he did that because he knew the reaction he was going to get from Kanye West.
See, if Kanye was smart, he'd hook up with Ariana Grande.
Oh, no. Let's not start that.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Pete Davidson, by the way, on March 23rd, he's going to space on Blue Origin.
Oh, so the rumors are
So
true.
the rumors are true.
It's next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. Thank you, Maury. The 23rd, 9:30 a.m. We all know that Shatner went up there, Michael Strahan went up there, and
Who's he going
now
with?
Pete Davidson is going with investor Marty Allen, Space Kids Global founder Sharon Hagel, her husband Mark Hagel, University of North Carolina teacher Jim Kitchen, and Commercial Space Technologies president Dr. George Nield. So
Do you think
I guess
he's going to take it seriously, or is he going to do something silly?
what do you mean take it seriously? Like what's he going to do?
Like,
Open a
just sit
window?
there- no, like sit there quietly, or is he going to do something like
Well, like punch one of the
Like
other
smoke
people
a
in the-
joint or
Smoke a
something.
joint?
He's not going to do that.
In a room with oxygen, you think that the man's gonna like bust out a lighter?
Bro, come on.
Blow the whole thing up?
No.
What are you
Sure,
mad?
You'll see.
You ever see what happens when you light oxygen on fire?
No.
It's not good.
You think he's going to like try to moon everyone as he's leaving Earth?
Yeah, that sounds a little bit more believable.
Press a ham up against a window? Yeah, that kind
Hey,
of thing.
guys, check this
Hey,
out.
listen, the reason that they put, Michael Strahan, William Shatner, guys like Pete Davidson on these is so they get a little bit of press for the civilians that are also on there, and Bezos gets to look cool because he's got cool friends and stuff. So, yeah, I'm sure that they think and are probably hoping and are probably orchestrating right now something fun for him to do or say. But do I think he's going to pull his pants off and light a joint? No. I think it'll probably be something a tiny bit more reserved.
Come on, man.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
on Kiss 92.5
Kiss925.com.
or download the Kiss 92.5 app.